All right, hello everybody. How y'all doing today? Appreciate y'all joining us this afternoon for our discussion. Hey, if you've been here before, y'all know what it is. Let me know where you're watching from. Drop down in your comments your location. Yeah, good afternoon. Appreciate y'all joining us. We give people a call. Give them a couple of minutes before we launch into our discussion today. But it's going to be a good one. It's one that I'm definitely looking forward to having with y'all, talking America's nightmares. It's your sign to return home to Africa, right? I'm rocking my um I'm waiting for the America I Was Promised t-shirt by Urban Intellectuals. That's just the truth, right? I'm still waiting on all of these promises. They tell me about this great country. You tell me about how wonderful it is here. I'm still waiting on some just good old-fashioned equality, right? That's the thing about Black people that I love about us. Sometimes I'm frustrated, but I love about us. We're just looking for equality. We're not looking for favors. We're not looking for anything extra. Black folks ain't even looking for revenge, right? We're just looking for equality. But I'm still waiting on the America I was promised. I don't know about you. Am I the only one? Maybe I'm the only one that was doing that. Can you provide the recording? I'm at work now. Melissa, we are recording this. I believe, Ashley, we are going to send out the recording. Is that true? Am I lying? Did I make that up? I be doing stuff like that. I was looking to make it easy over there in the waiting room. All right, good afternoon. Atlanta's in the building, Cincy, Sacramento, California. We talked about the recording, Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, heck no. Okay, Leslie, let me know. Heck no, I'm not the only one that feels that way, right? That's good to know. That just that confirms that I'm in the right room, right? This is y'all, my people. I appreciate y'all being here on this Saturday afternoon for most of us, morning for the West Coast. I'll try not to take up too much of your time, but I'll try to make it interesting enough that you don't want to leave, right? If you've shown up here, I got an inkling that you like the information that we put out and the vibe that we put down, so I appreciate that. But if you're new here, let me know. If this is your first Urban Intellectuals event, drop a one down in the comments. Give me a give me a 2,000. I'm gonna get it out. 2 to 2,000 if you've been to multiple events. I'm just always curious to see who is in the room. Do I need to be on my best behavior, or y'all already know how Freddie act? All right, Sasha say 4, right? So she's seen us a couple of 2 through 2,000. I love it. Sherry, you could have picked a number, right? Like, it could have been like 2,000. I've been here a lot. I'm not new here, right, right, right. All right, so yeah, we got our people. I'm sure we got a couple of newbies in here that are afraid to post. Don't worry about it. You amongst family, right? Grandma ain't gonna get you. Hopefully 40-ish. I love that, Stacey. Um, Ashley, we didn't talk about this, but would you drop the link to Sunday dinner so they can sign up for Sunday dinners? urbanintellectuals.com/Sunday dinner. I want to make sure y'all sign up, right? Tomorrow we cooking, right? Every Sunday we do Sunday dinner via Zoom. Yeah, my grandma would love this. Every Sunday we do Sunday dinner here at Urban Intellectuals via Zoom. And we harken back to those moments, right, of Sunday dinner when you used to go to grandma's house every week with the family to enjoy, to connect, and talk about the issues of the community. So we're not providing soul food for the belly. We're having soulful conversations for the community. That's what we do every Sunday here at Urban Intellectuals over. Michael Davis is here, y'all. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, this was not planned. I didn't know the brother was coming. I gotta bring you up, good brother. I just listen. Y'all don't know what's happening. Y'all make sure you sign up for Sunday dinner. This is brother Michael Davis. He has been doing um daily Black history on Instagram and tagging us using our I don't even got, brother, I don't even got the calendar. We done sold out of everything, right? But we using our calendar and our flashcards. One, I just want to say thank you, brother, for, one, purchasing the products, two, being dedicated. We're on day 15. He
Yeah,
has not missed a
yeah.
day. Yeah, thank you, man. But what prompted you to, I promise y'all this was not planned. I didn't know he was gonna be there. He was just smiling in my box right here.
Yeah, man. Hey, Freddie, let me put it to you like this, and I'm not even gonna take up much time because I'm here for you, brother. I started watching your post on Instagram, and it's like the last 10 years, every month during Black History Week, Black History Month, I go out to the bookstores and I've been buying information on Black history, like you said, because I'm tired of the same 8 to 10 people. It's all we talk about. And then you said, hey, let's make it easy and fun. And so, man, I said, I gotta try this out. And I got the flashcards, I got the calendar. I started showing it to people, and man, I was loving it. I couldn't wait until the new year to start. So I was just, and then so like Christmas, I brought a bunch for my 2 sons and their family. I got them the flashcard and the calendar. My younger sister for her and her grandkids. Hey, Freddie, I don't even have a Christmas. I don't buy Christmas presents. This year I did because of you.
Wow.
And man, I just been going around in churches and people. Man, I just reordered some more the other day to get more flashcards because I'm learning so much. I said, oh, I got it, but you got more. So, hey, I just couldn't help myself. I'm glad you didn't sue me for broadcasting your stuff, man. I was kind of nervous at first.
Yeah, no way. Thank you, brother, for what you're doing. Like you see, I saw it immediately, like, oh, let's repost this on the main page. And then I finally started tagging you. So hopefully your influence and following is growing. But man, I love it. 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 I would love to continue talking to you. Maybe we can do some other things in the future because I'm always talking about how great the products are, but I'm a little biased, right? I own that. I own my bias. So it's just wonderful to see people like you enjoying it and sharing it. Thank you, brother.
And I've already had a few people inbox me. Now, where is this? You get it? I said, I say it every day, and I send them the links. I had several people already jump on the urban intellectual bandwagon. So I got your back, brother.
My man, Michael Davis, y'all. Give my man some love in the comments. Make sure you check out the Instagram page because I definitely tag him every day. He is doing this 28 days. It's a beautiful thing. Somebody look, you got him asking for the calendar down in the comments. The calendar is sold out. We're gone. It's gone. This ain't a marketing ploy. They just sold out. Next year we'll know, 1, we'll start selling them earlier, and 2, we'll order more. We didn't realize that people would buy a calendar like in January or February, right? So I just honestly, that's my bad. I just assumed if you ain't buy it the year before, you wasn't gonna buy it. And the last thing I want is a 2025 calendar sitting in our warehouse. And basically we just threw money down the drain, right? So that's my bad. Next year we'll do better. But we did but brother Michael is making it hot, right? He's out here pumping it up.
And then like when you post and you talk about you going to Africa and learning and getting this, and it's like I went to Africa for the first time in April of last year, and brother, the first 2 days I could not stop crying. I was so humbled of being in the motherland. I just could not take it.
Wow. Where did you go?
I went to Monrovia, Liberia.
Awesome.
And I was doing church work, and I'm going back next year. Instead of 2 weeks, I'm going for 3 weeks, packing more bags, and hopefully I will come back to America. But after today, I'll see what happens.
Hey, maybe not, right? Maybe not. I love it, brother. I love your enthusiasm, man. I was going to inbox you and say we need to talk. So I'm glad we got a chance to converse. But look for that inbox. Oh, Sister Tamiko ain't on here today. Well, I'm gonna reach out to you, brother. I know how to get you. That's me operating the Instagram comments, by the way. All of that, right?
Oh wow.
I'm the social guy right now. For now. But man, thank you for being here. I appreciate you, good brother. Definitely love it. I love it, man. I love it. Brother's doing some good work, man. So hopefully y'all get an opportunity to check us out. Yeah, brother Davis and I are doing what we're supposed to do. Yeah, build each other up, celebrate us every single day. Yeah, nah, yeah. Oh man, I love it. I'm going to Ghana. Look at that. I love it. My people are reaching out. Listen, yeah, we gonna talk about it all today, right? But America, like brother brother David said, right? America's nightmare, right? He might not come back. I totally understand. I'm going to Ethiopia with our Sankofa experiences next month. It's our first trip into Ethiopia. We're taking a group. It's going to be an amazing experience.
Oh,
We'll see if I come back. I don't know, right? Every time I go, I tell you what, I don't like to come back, right? It is something different. I love y'all. I love y'all like play cousins. But there's something about the continent that I'm super excited about. Oh man, all right. So we off to a fast start. This is good. So I saw we had a couple of new people, so appreciate y'all for being here. I'll try not to run too long, right? If you new to this space, coming to our Zoom event, online events, I don't know what to call that stuff. Sometimes we can get a little long-winded, right? But as long as the vibe is right, I'll stick around. It's one thing I love about virtual events, right? Like it's low cost, right? Like it ain't like I got a hotel room and we got to be up out of here. We can engage and get down. But I want to get to the information. I'm going to Ethiopia next month too. Yeah, Barbara, we gonna get the meat, right? We gonna get the meat. We gonna get to eat. I am into African food. I didn't really realize I was a junkie, but I am an African food junkie. And I got some new stuff I want to share with y'all. Let me be quiet and move. The brother Michael got me fired up. Now I'm off script and I'm just going now. But that's what happens when we have good conversation, right? All right. I'll introduce myself in a minute. Let me run down some of our content so that we can dive into the conversation. Give me a yes in the comments. You can see my screen. It should be asking you a different question, right? Do you have your freedom papers? All right. Do you let me a yes in the comments if you see that? You should be able to see it. Let me double check now. Now, you are all right. Karen is yeah. Karen already know. I got that coming up on the slide, Sister Karen. But I love it. Yeah, okay, thank you. But if y'all new around here, Brother Freddie is not real tech literate, man. All right. So, if it can go wrong, Brother Freddie gonna figure out a way to make it go wrong. So y'all just bear with me sometimes. Blame it on my heart, not blame it on my tech illiteracy, not my heart. I don't know. I'm making up stuff as we go. Yes, I can see it. All right, I appreciate y'all. Do you have your freedom papers? This is a really important conversation that really stemmed from something we did on Sunday dinner. I want to encourage y'all again. Show up to Sunday dinner tomorrow. We start at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It runs about 3 to 5. And we are having great conversation. But I ran across this sister who did this video talking about America going back to needing your freedom papers. And y'all already know that harkens back to a sensitive time in our community when you had to have your papers on you. And then, what's to say that somebody's not going to rip it up? What's to say that some of this ideology that is now permeated the White House on a full-time basis? I'm under no delusion that this country was built and made for us. If y'all seen some of our videos, but it's like it's back in our face. So check this quick video out. I think it's a couple of minutes. Let's just enjoy this, and let's build from and learn from this. I can't say enjoy it, but listen up.
Black people, well, anybody can use the information coming from this video. Watch this.
A travel warning: if you're traveling in 2025 out of the US, you need to know 3 huge changes that are changing everything. It's a first, or you won't be able to go anywhere. Number 1, if you're trying to fly domestically in the US, your old driver's license isn't going to work after May 7th, 2025. You're going to need a real ID. You apply at your local DMV and get it done now before they get slammed. Number two, if you're planning to travel from the US to the UK, which is Northern Ireland, England, Wales, Scotland, you're going to need for the first time a travel waiver. And that means you're going to have to apply. It's $13. It lasts for 2 years. But even if you're going for a day, you need to have the waiver. And there is another group of European countries, 30 of them, like France, Germany, Italy. They're requiring their own waiver. It's $7. It lasts 3 years. These are attached to your passport. Make sure your passport doesn't expire, because when your passport expires, these waivers expires and you have to start over.
Black people, get your affairs in order. Yes, a lot of us are holding other marginalized communities accountable for how they voted and for how they treat Black people in the Black community. While you're holding others accountable, make sure that your affairs are in order. Make sure that you have a certified copy of your birth certificate. If you have your original birth certificate, I know we don't like to walk around with our original documents. Make a copy of that birth certificate. Go to a notary public and have her certify/notarize that copy of your birth certificate. That makes that copy a certified copy of your birth certificate. When she's notarizing that copy, make sure she includes a statement that says, I'm a notary. And on all the documents, especially if they're copies of original documents, I include a statement that says, I, Tabitha, Notary Public, certify that this is a copy of the original document that is in the possession of whoever the birth certificate belongs to. If you are not carrying around your original Social Security card, do the same for your Social Security card. Make a copy of it, take it to a notary, and have her certify that copy, notarize it. If you have a passport, you can use your passport in place of that birth certificate. Reason being, in order to get that passport, you have to provide a copy, a certified copy of your birth certificate. So you can use your passport in place of a birth certificate. If you are using a copy of your passport, have that copy certified. I've talked about this in a few other videos since the election, and I've had people getting down in my comments telling me that I'm overreacting. I'm not overreacting. I'm preparing Black people. Last year, I did a video talking about laws that were passed in Texas, in Georgia, and in Florida. That law was basically, the essence of that law is that police officers in those states can legally stop you under suspicion that you are an illegal immigrant. And in that instance, you want to make sure that you have proof that you are a citizen. So it is my suggestion, just like you carry your driver's license with you everywhere you go, you want to carry proof of citizenship now everywhere you go. And your proof of citizenship is a passport or birth certificate. That driver's license is not proof of citizenship. It is a valid government ID, a valid government picture ID, but it is not proof of citizenship. In her video, she talked about needing a real ID. Everybody nationwide, adults, will need to have a real ID. And the deadline is May 7th, I think she said. I didn't know what a real ID was, so I had to go out and look it up. So to get more information on a real ID, I suggest you go over to Google, put in your state and the term real ID, and your state's website for real ID requirements should come up. This is the Georgia Department of Driver Services, and they have information on what a real ID is and how to obtain it. Basically, a real ID is a driver's license that has a black star or a gold star, and it's in one of the corners of the driver's license, right? And it's for those of you in Georgia, it just confirms that this is a real ID, and it has all of these new mechanisms on the ID, barcodes, holographs and things like that. So yeah, I looked at mine and it has a gold star up in one of the corners. So make sure that your driver's license is considered a real ID. Listen, Black people, the government has been attacking us for decades, for centuries, for 400 years. And the way we have been able to maneuver and make it through all of these years is because of how we share and spread information. Okay? So currently, the Latino community is going through it. I just learned that Donald Trump does plan to reinstitute the Muslim ban, and there's additional information now included with that Muslim ban that's going to attack and harm the Arab community, the Muslim community here in the United States, right? And once they're all done, we're going to be watching to see what they're going to do with the 14th Amendment, which comes after us. So make sure while all of this is going on that you have your papers. Yes, we are back in that time period. Make sure you have your papers, especially if you are in the state of Texas, Florida, and Georgia, because of that law that they put in about a year ago, giving permission to police officers to be able to stop you under suspicion that you are an illegal immigrant. Share this video so the word gets out.
Yeah, I wanted to include that because it's important information, right? That we make sure that we're disseminating this information amongst our community, which I love how the sister put it. When they done with them Latinos, when they done with them Arabs, y'all already know they circle back to us each and every time. So like, let's not be foolish. And if you in that camp, oh, you overthinking, yeah, whatever, stay ready. You ain't got to get ready, right? So that's, if you around us here at Urban Intellectuals, we're going to try to make sure that you stay ready. And hopefully you're taking action on the things that we're talking about. And I see some conversation saying, hey, I got a passport, I'm good. Hey, I'm not going to try to act like I'm an expert in this. I don't know. I got a passport. I should be good. Shoot, I got 2 passports, right? I don't know if I'm good. I'm going to go get my real ID anyway. I'm going to make paper. I'm going to make copies of all of my stuff. I'm going to get it notarized. I'm going to do all the things, because let me tell you what Freddie don't want. No smoke. And if I can get any way to protect myself and my family, I got young men that I've raised, right? They 22 and 25 years old. I don't want them to talk to the police. And if you're a police officer or you're in that community and you feel a certain way about anything that I'm going to say, I don't know what to tell you, because I pay attention to what has happened historically to my people in my community with that organization. Now, if you really want to be a good officer, then get a hold of your people. Just get them to act right. And then I wouldn't have to tell my people, let's be leery around them. Let's take care of ourselves, but let's be protective. I'm not telling you to be afraid. I'm not telling you, I'm a grown ass man. Listen, I can handle my business, right? You run up on me if you feel like it, but My point is, I don't want to display that. Y'all know I like to laugh and joke too much. I enjoy being in my happy space, right? But what they say, I ain't no killer, but don't push me, right? All right, everybody got a limit, but we don't want to be, we don't want to test it, right? I just don't, just leave. I think most people, black folks, have the same mentality. Just leave us alone. Just leave us alone. That's it. We gonna handle our. We gonna go through this. I don't even know, man. We need a therapist. Ashley, let's work on getting a therapist out here because we need some therapy when it comes to dealing with this new administration and the trauma that we already feel as a country. But I felt like the Freedom Paper discussion is something that we should all be aware of, right? So just get your affairs in order. If you're looking for that video, I know we shared it on our Instagram page. I'll try to share it again so it's towards the top. Um, but you know, Googling real ID in your state to figure out how to go figure that out, especially if you're a traveler, right? I'm a traveler. I was like, May 7th, let me go get my papers together. I want my freedom papers, right? And I'm like brother Michael, because I might not come back, right? I might not come back. I might get over there, get to eating that food, and I'm good. All right, so I see some people say I have my current passport and real ID. Drivers, oh, Michael's on it. All right, so the brother is not only spreading additional Black history and culture, he's handling his business, right? So let's be like brother Michael Davis and get these things in order, and more importantly, get your young people to get their things in order, and let's handle that business. All right, man. I ain't even started. Michael got me thrown off, man. All of this is Michael's fault. I'm blaming everything on him today. I got me a scapegoat. I'm good out here today. Sister Jean, I see you. She already know this brother Freddie gonna go off in left field anyway. So sometimes some things you just can't help, right? We can't help it, right? It's okay. We are who we are in this world. Hopefully y'all enjoy the ride, but hopefully I give you some good information and some things to think about. All right, so America's Nightmare. I'm gonna try to pick up the pace because good Lord, it's 27 minutes in already. I feel like we just started. It's like slide 2 or 3. Good Lord. All right, but America's Nightmare, is this your sign to return home to Africa? I see a lot of people talking about, I ain't going, no, I ain't giving up. Listen, I ain't telling you to leave forever. I'm just trying to get you to understand that it's an opportunity to expand your horizons. There's a whole world out here. I try to remind folks. Let me come back on camera. We ain't never gonna get. I try to remind folks, well, at least when I speak, I'm a citizen of the world. I don't know. I happen to be born in America. I got that blue American passport. I ain't giving it up. My ancestors have fought and died for this place and built it literally on their backs. So I got some choice words for anybody that try to tell me, well, leave, cancel your passport. No, this is mine, right? We earned this, right? So I'm never going to give that up. But I don't limit myself to this landmass. That's just a geography. I am a human. I am a person. I am part of this great cosmos that we call the universe. So I can go anywhere I feel like it, right? As long as I want to be there, right? So I'm interested in seeing the rest of the world. Number one. Two, I'm interested in engaging the rest of the world. Number three, I am a businessman. So I know that all the money in the world ain't just in America. There's an opportunities outside of it. Four, I'm having children that's going to have children that's going to have children. I don't want them to be locked into a landmass and an ideology, one, that don't love us anyway, but two, there's so much opportunity beyond that. So if I could be the catalyst that goes off into the world and start making connections, relationships, and breaking down the barriers that we have inside of our families about traveling to other countries, right? Particularly the continent of Africa, countries in the continent of Africa, and reconvening with the African diaspora, then maybe that's my contribution to our lineage, right? And I'm gonna talk a little bit about what's happening on the continent, which is why I think this is even a more important conversation beyond the nightmare that America is reminding us who she is, right? Reminding us. Let's not act like we got Obama and we started acting like shit was sweet. I curse sometime, y'all. We're gonna have to deal with it, right? I'm not into respectability politics. Y'all play that somewhere else, right? I'm gonna speak how I speak. And if you can't handle it, I understand. We're not palatable for everyone. That's okay too. But my people rock with us, right? I don't mean any disrespect. Grandma pulled my ear and get me in order now. I go a little too far. But it just is what it is. America has always been a nightmare when it comes to us. So let's not be foolish and act like it hasn't, right? All right. So a couple of the house rules. UI equals yes. It means urban intellectuals. You agree with us? Drop UI in the comment. Yes, I see that. Come on, camera. I like to see smiling faces that make me notice you. I get a chance to call you out and shout you out anyway if we get a chance. I see UI, and there we go. Comments equal energy, right? We're not in here face to face in person, especially if you're not on camera. I need you to participate in the comments. I might be calling for some call and response, like my first one, right? If that's okay, there we go. Some people are already ahead of me. If that's okay, give me a UI in the comments. Y'all was reading. All right, yeah. Now we're not gonna tolerate, spam, bullying, self promotion, negative talk. We out of there with all of that. I'll just boot you out, and you'll be like, oh, you never buying your products again. So what? So what? So what? Okay, you can't threaten us with that, right? I got people that love the work that we're doing, and we are here for them. If that ain't you, if you that then just move along. It's okay. I love my people, but we ain't gotta love all of them, right? Yeah, I'm saucy today. Y'all watch it. All right, but have you ever felt like America wasn't designed for us? Anybody ever felt that? All right, I got my UIs rolling through the comments. Give me a UI in the comments or a yes. If I'm a contrarian too, so I get that. But yeah. Have you ever felt like this place wasn't designed for us, right? And I think that if that is your feeling, I think one, you're in the right place. Two, I think you got the right feeling because it what? It wasn't. And it still operates as if they don't want us here, right? They are pretty clear about that. And I gotta watch my words here. I appreciate Trump for putting it back in our faces because we went to sleep right over the last couple of years, and we've been thinking that Democratic Party is rocking with us, and this boy is signing away everything left and right. And where are they at? Besides Sister Jasmine Crockett, do y'all know Representative Jasmine Crockett? I should have had video of this sister. She is worthy of Googling, following. That sister ain't playing no games. I believe she's in the House of Representatives. I was like, oh, let me go get my Jasmine Crockett shirts and t-shirts. This sister is something. She reminds me of young Maxine Waters, right? Like speaking out against all the jokes. Yeah, she is no joke. And I mean, I don't want to disrespect Maxine. I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say. I'm gonna say Jasmine Crockett is the truth, right? Yeah, she's no joke though. Man, Jasmine for president. Woo, they can't handle that one. But we behind that sister 1,000%. But she is pushing back like crazy. I love it, right? But we gotta wake up and realize that this place was never built for us, and it's continuing to act that way. But the fortunate thing is through unity, we got everything that we need. And the reason they're trying to keep us apart and the reason they're trying to keep us from understanding our history and our culture is because that's going to bring you together. That's going to make you interested in the resources that's in the people on the African continent and in the diaspora. And it's that unity that has helped us for tens of thousands of years. Yes, I said tens of thousands of years, good people. It's just the history of the planet. All right, but this guy's talking. Who are we? Where are we at? Who is this? This is Urban Intellectuals. And specifically, we're talking about our Sankofa experiences. These are our Black History travel experiences made easy. My name is Freddie Taylor. I'm the CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals. Black history is literally my life. It's the work that we do here at Urban Intellectuals, but it's the work that we've been doing forever, right? And had the pleasure of speaking about Black history and culture in all these wonderful places and many, many more. If you're in Chicagoland area, you know the big deal that the Legacy Award is. I've won a Legacy Award for what we're doing here at Urban Intellectuals and the community. We got a talk show, Telly Award winning talk show talking about Black history, Black business icons, Black business history with my man Lamar Tyler. But I always say that my story and this story started almost 100 years ago and really started with the young man behind me in this photograph. This is my dad. This is my father. This is us there in the west coast of Africa at Ghana at Cape Coast Door of No Return that you see over Dad's right shoulder. But Dad is 95 years young today. He's still alive. He's doing his thing. Talking about coming to Ethiopia. I'm like, Pops, it's a little late to be trying to pop up in Ethiopia on us, but hey, big bucks if you want to come. You know what I mean? What I'm gonna tell you, right? But he was born in 1929, and he's the one that really instilled a love of history and culture and the understanding of its importance into me. So I always say that that's when Urban Intellectuals started, with his birth, because he's the spark. Since then, we established the company in 2015. And we have our anybody seen our Black History flashcards? Brother Michael was talking about, I know he's seen them, right? He was talking about them earlier. But since then, we kicked them off, and we've sold over 500,000 decks, 200,000 plus customers, all 50 states, 64 countries around the world. We have been putting in work centered around Black history and culture. We're going on 10 years in business in December, and I mention that because we didn't pop up talking Black history because Trump got into office. We didn't pop up saying this because, you know, it's a hot topic or whatever. I was doing it long before 2015, actually. But when it wasn't popular, when folks say, man, why you always talking that Black stuff? Why you? Like, why you not? Right? And that's why I'm always obtuse to individuals, because I believe in my people. I believe in my culture. I know that our solution lies inside of us. And I want to promote and educate individuals on that. And I've had recently an opportunity to do that on the news. Take a look at this quick segment.
And founder of Urban Intellectuals. Good morning, Freddie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing today?
Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for being with us. First, tell us about Urban Intellectuals. What is this?
Our Urban Intellectuals makes it fun and easy to learn Black history. That is our mission. That is our core responsibility. And we created a suite of Black history products and services designed to rewrite the narrative about Black and African people in the world.
Obviously very important. How'd you come up with the idea for Urban Intellectuals?
Oh, I love to say that it started almost 100 years ago, because my father's 95 years old. And he's still alive, born in 1929, but he instilled in me the importance of understanding our history and our culture and the pride and respect that it instills inside of us. And while my children were matriculating through the school district, I couldn't believe that the limited discussion about the contributions to humanity that Black people have made were minuscule at best. And I kept thinking, somebody should do something. Somebody should do something. In 2016, I became somebody.
You were the somebody that did something, right? And typically, probably the conversations were in February.
Yes, typically centered around February, centered around the same 8 to 12 people every single year, which, no disrespect to them and their contributions, which is amazing, but there's so much more glorious.
A lot more. Okay, so you've got a very cool product.
Thank you.
That kind of makes it fun, right? Makes it fun. Tell me about your flashcards.
Our Black History flashcards feature 52 cards in each deck. There's actually 6 in the series, so we have
6 volumes.
6 volumes in the series.
Cards,
so we're really expanding the conversation centered around Black and African contributions to humanity. I like to have that conversation because this is really the story of the world, right? Black history is world history, and too often it's the missing pages of world history. So
and I see on here 1968 Olympics.
Yes.
Bessie Coleman, Black Wall Street. So just all different things to kind of bring it to light.
Bring it to light, and expand the conversation in a easy to understand format. Because on the back of the cards are just simple bullet pointed information about the people. And the first time that you're exposed to it, it just opens your mind and makes you more curious and thirsty for more.
Who are these for?
These are for just about everyone. We have people who are using them with their young children, as young as 18 months, all the way to 95. I'll cap it there with my father's age, because most of us aren't exposed to this information, so it's new to all of us.
And you also have playing cards. That's fun. Huh?
Yes, so we infuse Black history and culture into everything that we do. So instead of playing with a regular deck of playing cards, we have powerful Black imagery weaved into the playing card deck.
Exposure. What is this? This looks like fun.
Yes.
I don't know how you do a mystery puzzle, though.
You don't know what the finished product looks like, so that's the challenge. But I can tell you there's Black history wrapped up inside.
Sure, okay. Is it all the same, or is every box different?
The future editions will be different. This particular one is the same right now, but as we expand the line, we're definitely going to do more.
Right. And what else? You guys aren't just in the playing card and flashcard business.
Oh, no. We actually have 19 physical products centered around Black history and culture, but we take it a step further, and we have classes that we teach live Black history to children inside of the Sankofa Club. You can see that at sankofaclub.com, and to adults as well inside of our Sankofa Circle. But we don't stop there. We actually take people on Black history history, travel experiences to Africa and beyond.
That's so great.
Yeah.
What do people, how do people, when they come back from something like that, how do they?
Oh, you're
Speechless,
totally,
probably.
speechless, totally transformed. Because it's one thing to learn about the history and the culture. It's another thing to go see it and experience it for yourself. Be exposed to the food, the culture, the people. It's just a beautiful conversation. You come back changed.
Yeah, I bet. And you've been on several of these, I presume.
I have.
Yeah.
I have. I really enjoy it. I love watching the people have these experiences and go through these breakthroughs and breaking down the misconceptions about the contributions of Black and African people to the world.
Where can we go for more information about Urban Intellectuals?
You can go to urbanintellectuals.com, and on all platforms we are Urban Intellectuals.
Okay, perfect. And you got some of these for the month? You're stocked up?
We are stocked up and ready.
Right.
Got a special $10 offer for everybody that's going, $10 per deck. Normally that's not the price. We're about 66% off with this special, so take advantage during Black History.
Okay, well, thanks for being with us this morning. We appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much.
Man, as I played the video, I was like, oh, it just like told everything I was about to say. So that was good. That was good. I don't think I gotta keep that going. Thank you. I'm glad y'all enjoyed that. Please share it, right, get it out there. But it was definitely a good overview for the company. And I didn't realize she let me get everything off inside of there. That was like really, really good. Like I saw people saying that, but I was like, we got so much we offer. But no, that was a pretty good overview. So that's going to speed up what I was about to say, right? Because that was really appropriate. And thank you for the kind words. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. Thank you. Hey man, look, put me out there, put me in the game, coach. We're going to get this history and culture out there to the people. But yeah, so these are the 19 products that we have inside of the company. I'll keep going, but listen, everything wasn't a total, it's not have been a blissful ride, right? So we definitely have had challenges. Y'all know that symbol that reminds you of an organization, right? Target. In 2023, we were in Black History Month there, and we had a disaster story. One day I'm going to dedicate some time and talk about the disaster known as Target. It's just ironic that we're talking about banning them and the DEI conversation and all of that right now. But we were literally in there, and when Black brands are in these stores, there's a lot of associated fees and costs that they make you purchase in order to be in there that they don't really talk about, and most of us don't know. But they had us now we were in there Black History Month 2023. We had to sign a 12-month commitment for a $400 service to stay in there. And then the next year when we went to cancel it, they act like they told us during month 9, you were supposed to cancel it. So we had to do another 12 months, right? So you think $4,800, almost $10,000 in fees for 1 month to be in here to an organization that is $0 to them. But to us, that's somebody's salary. We could have put that on a salary. We could have added a team member. Like, we could have did so many things with that money. I got so many nightmare stories that came out of that. So when y'all be talking about banning Target, my whole feeling, the reason I ain't pushing, you ain't seen it on our platform, say, oh, ban Target, they ain't DEI. I'd be like, don't go there, period. Right? You should be finding Black stores and Black alternatives. So the whole ban movement, you're not going to see Urban Intellectuals a part of any of that. I don't believe in that. I believe that you should be actively spending your money with Black companies, right? And you can't do 100%, but you should find as much as you can. And there's a sister, I'm gonna interview her, Sherdon Reynolds, and she made a statement. She said, inside of your home, you probably have at least 10 products. Obviously, there's more that you have on repeat purchase. Right? Like you're buying soap regularly, you're buying dish detergent, you're buying laundry detergent. These are these things, these repeat purchases. And her statement is at least 50% of your repeat purchases should be with Black businesses. And all that takes is a little effort and energy on your part. So you don't have to go into the Targets, you don't have to go into the Walmarts, you don't have to go into these stores or even Amazon. Right? And get this on a regular basis with a little bit of effort. And that's nothing for you, but it's everything for these companies. But all of these large companies started as mom and pop shops, like the Black businesses that we're talking about. They just got continual, like literally Walmart started as a 5 and dime store, right? Now it's a global company. We can do this, but we have to be diligent about supporting our companies, our businesses. And why is that important? Because people hire people that look like them. They put that DEI in and all of that. DEI is basically guaranteeing jobs for white women because white boys is hiring white boys, and they're like, oh, we need to do this so we can get the white women in. They need to get their space. And yes, I'm not totally against DEI, right? And I know black folks are benefiting from it, but we'll benefit much, much more if we had a black target, right? Because all those executives are going to be hired from people that look like us. This is just what people do. But we don't seem to grasp this group economic concept, and that ain't why we came here to talk today. So I'm going to try to stay focused, man. I'm blaming it all on Michael. He got me off script, and I'm just running, right? But in addition to like that little faux pas about the additional charging, oh, man, we just going to be here for a while. Y'all just going to have to be mad. But when you get into these retail stores, they want you to spend your advertising dollars to target your audience to send them into the retail store so that you can sell through your merchandise. And the idea is to sell through your merchandise so big bad massa, big bad Target come and does a re-up order. So you can do it again and again and again. But did you hear what I said? I said you got to spend your advertising dollars to target your people to send them into Target, of which Target's taking a large chunk of the money in the first place, and they're charging you money on the back end to be in the damn store. This is like a killer for black businesses, right? It's a good opportunity to get in there and exposure. You get in front of everybody, this and all of that good stuff. But man, that's a killer. Now, here's the thing. We did that. This is my first time in retail because I don't like retail. And I just be frank with y'all. I like to sell directly with you because you see how I talk. If you've been around, you see my disposition, you see my commentary, you see what I say. If we become dependent on Target and Walmart and these big places, you think Freddie can talk like he can talk? Or are they going to be like, yeah, your contract's coming up for renewal, but we need you to change your language. But you got Asada Shakur inside of your Black Women's History deck in Volume 2. We need you to take that out. We need you to take this out. We need you to sanitize it this way. This what comes with the carrot. Oh, you want to get to the money? Well, you're going to have to play by our rules. This is why I like selling directly to you, because I can say what I want to say, what my community needs to hear, that's going to empower them, because we're not dependent on white dollars. This is why, I'm going to be frank, a lot of our organizations are shit. They take white money and they compromise their language and the integrity of the organization and the movement. And then they use the black skin to get you in so that they can get the white dollars. That's the damn problem. So when you're not seeing us in retail, it's not because we aren't worthy of being there. The hell with those people. When we went into Target, did the advertising thing, the emails, hey, y'all go to Target, support. We was in every Target around the country. When our people went in there, they were sending us messages and said, I thought you was in Target. What happened? I thought you was in Target. What happened? And we like, what's going on? Y'all, they had us in the back. We wasn't even on the little week Black History Month shelves. We was in the back. The worst picture was they had to go talk to somebody. Then they'd be like, oh, damn, they still got y'all in the back for some reason. Somebody sent us a picture. We were in the lingerie section. Why is there Black History flashcards in the line? Like, don't listen. Your boy ain't with retail, right? We want to sell directly to you so that we can have the information that you need to empower our community, right? And I just think it really tripled downs on, we don't need nobody else. We just need to come together as a community. All right, man, whew, I swear we're going to get through this presentation one of these days. Brother Michael, I'm going to have to ban you, brother, because we're trying to stay on point. I mentioned the Sankofa Club. We do live Black history to children via the Zoom platform. We've been doing this since 2019. We added Sankofa Circle last summer, where we teach live Black history to adults. We've added Sankofa Legacy Builders as well. I'll talk about that another day, another time. It's just too much to go on. I mention all of this not to impress you, but to remind you at our core, we are a Black History company. This is what we do as a company every day. This is our Sankofa experiences is our travel angle of this. I'm trying to speed up, y'all, because I am like grossly behind, right? I'm grossly behind. So, Urban Intellectuals is the company. Sankofa Experiences is our movement. This is how we take people on the travel, the African diaspora, right? But Sankofa, do you know what it means, right? I ain't even got time really for comments, right? I want to respect your time, so I'm going to try to speed up. I play in the comments with y'all a lot. Y'all know if y'all been around. We with you. See, this is why I love us, right? Like we with you, man. Y'all know I didn't blame it on my head, not my heart, right? But Sankofa is a great word, right? And this is why you see it all the time with urban intellectuals. It's a word from the Akan people out of Ghana that means to go back and get it. So go back and get your history, go back and get your culture and bring it forward with you into the future, right? It's often depicted as a bird with its head facing backward, feet facing forward, and you'll notice an egg in its beak. The head facing backward represents the past, the feet facing forward represents the future, and the egg in its beak represents the present. This is the mesh point of our history, our future, and our present, all in one simple call Sankofa. And that's why you see us talking about the Sankofa experiences and building everything. Sankofa is built into everything that we are about because we are a Black history company, right? All right. Okay. Somehow we gonna get back to the story, right? And I see a question. Can you email us the Black business links to the attendees? That's Stephanie. Sister Ashley, can you grab some of those links? Diaspora is a great organization. I know all of these people, man. That's the thing. Like I'm friends with these people. We run in the same circles. So like let's make sure that we're sharing all of this. I love it. But I want to take you back to 2016 and really talk about the origins of Sankofa experiences and how we got here, right? I promise I'm gonna loop this into what we're talking about. 2016, this is my dad, if you remember, talking about he wants to go to Africa. Now, I didn't realize dad had never been to Africa. That was like wow to me. Um, you might notice there's a bit of an age disparity, right? Despite my gray hair, I'm 48 years old. Dad's 95, right? I was born in 76. He was 46 when I was born, but he had never been to Africa. He was a well-traveled man. I was kind of shocked. Like, oh my God, he didn't go. So guess what? I got my man to Africa, right? I'm the baby boy. The baby got to get stuff done. If y'all ain't the baby, you don't understand, right? It's an obligation in the fam. No, I kid. But this is dad and I boarding the plane there at Detroit Metro Airport, right? If y'all familiar with that area, that's my mom dropping us off there. Mom passed in 2019, but she got an opportunity to see our boys go. This is 2017, right? So the next year I got him going to Ghana. But dear Mama Africa, this is dad at a young 87 years old drinking in his first experience there in Africa. And it was a beautiful one. And I'm very, very proud to have had this opportunity to travel with him. But that's us there again at the door, no return. You remember that picture from the very beginning. But that's every time I see the picture and it hangs in our living room, it just reminds me that our community needs to have this experience because it changes everything. And so much so, I want to share a little bit. Let me give you a little bit of dad talking about his first experience. So we're in our hotel room here in Ghana. This is 2017. Again, he's a young 87 years old, talking about his experience. Okay, so I promise just give you a few minutes. You have made it to Africa, right? So we were talking about wanting to go all these times.
Yeah.
So tell me about it. How has your experience been compared to how you thought it would be?
I'd say basically it's just about where I felt it would be, you know. And you was asking me about what I felt about. Did you see my experience?
Yeah.
I was saying, it's, being comfortable here in Africa, like you at home, you know, like you finally got home, you know, you feel kind of relaxed, you know, as though this is the place you should have been a long time ago. This is home, you know. That's the feeling you really get, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, Mother Africa. Or
Mother Africa.
Yeah, the motherland, huh?
Yeah, right, the motherland.
Yeah. You okay, so what have you enjoyed the most? So that feeling?
What I enjoyed the most?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough question, and you know, they've got the food, you know, and the amount of food that they eat. And I don't think nowhere in America you're gonna get a plate of food like, particularly like we had last night.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Tilapia
Right?
fish, it was ridiculous. You know,
Yeah, we could have fed the whole table with one plate.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could never eat all that much food.
Never.
But they put it, you know, I don't know what the word would be, but freely. But with food, man, there's no end to it.
There's no yeah.
I enjoyed that.
So we visited Jamestown. So tell the people about Jamestown. What was your thought there? Jamestown's like the first settlement here in Ghana. The British or Portuguese, one of them settled the area first.
With Jamestown, basically, you know, even though the people seem to have been happy, you know, there at Jamestown, but the conditions, you never believe, you know, the conditions, people could exist under those conditions.
Yeah, the poverty.
The poverty.
It's
Right?
just staggering. That's usually the word I use now.
Yeah,
Staggering. Yeah.
But then when it becomes a way of life, and you don't know much better.
Yeah.
Then it ain't so. You know, I'm assuming that the people there, I ain't seen nobody crying about that no poverty.
They not crying. They was going about their day. Yeah.
Yeah, they were working and doing what was it, crabs? The crabs.
Crab fishing. There's a fishing community.
Fishing village, you know, they out fishing, kids swimming and all that stuff.
Yeah, and playing and.
Yeah.
I think what struck me was, well, I watch the kids anyway because I love little children.
Yeah,
but you know, it's just you're in that environment and it's sharp things around and nails and we kind of coddle our children, you know. So it was interesting. I'm sorry, I got to cheat y'all because I don't want to let it run too much. But there's so much more in that interview. I'm gonna play that. You see, it's 24 minutes. I wasn't gonna play it off. I was gonna play a little bit more, but that's all right. That's all right. I ran my mouth a little bit, but I just wanted you to get a little bit of the feeling of when you get there and the experiences that you have, right? But Dad and I he's my international travel buddy, right? So we've been to Spain. In Morocco, this was the following year from 2017. So in 2018, we went to Spain and Morocco, chasing Black history. This was kind of what we do all the time. Remember, I told you he's my inspiration for understanding Black history and culture, but he's 88 years old in the 88 years young in these images. If you don't know about Southern Spain, particularly Granada, that's where we are. Can you send Dad's interview? I'm going to post it on YouTube, right? Ashley, you can drop our YouTube if you can drop our YouTube link, make sure y'all following us on YouTube. You'll catch all of that. But it's 24 minutes. But yeah, so we had a great conversation. But anyway, we're chasing Black history and culture everywhere that we go. In this video, we're in Granada, southern Spain, which is a beautiful experience as well. Make sure that you check that out, right? Eventually, we're going to start doing travel trips there. And Morocco. We start Morocco in March of this year as well. So we'll be there for the first time. Then Dad told me he wanted to go to Egypt, right? So you know what your boy did, had to get my man to Egypt. So we had a beautiful experience there. But not only did we go, we actually took a group of people with us. So here's a little bit of an overview from Egypt. Then I'll dive into some. Welcome, fellow adventurers. Get ready to embark upon an unforgettable journey through the mystical lands of Egypt, from the bustling streets of Cairo to the tranquil waters of the Nile. This adventure promises excitement at every turn. So let's dive in and explore the wonders that await. Touching down at Cairo International Airport, your Egyptian escapade begins. A warm welcome awaits you as your tour manager takes you away in a comfortable, air-conditioned vehicle to your hotel. And rest assured, we've taken care of every detail, ensuring a seamless check-in process a chance to review your exciting itinerary with pickup times confirmed and currency exchange assistance available. You can relax and unwind before the adventure kicks into high gear. And don't worry, vegetarians and vegans will find a plethora of delicious dining options to tantalize their taste buds. No need to worry about converting your money. Our team will be on hand to assist you at every step of the way, ensuring you have the local currency required for your adventures in Egypt. Rise and shine, adventurers. After a restful night in Cairo, it's time to delve into the wonders of the ancient world. A hearty breakfast fuels your exploration as we journey into the iconic Gaza Plateau, a beautiful, majestic Gaza pyramid complex where history and magic converge. Marvel at the Great Pyramid of Khufu, Pyramid of Khafre, and the Pyramid of Menkaure, accompanied by the enigmatic guardian, the Great Sphinx. For those seeking an extra thrill, delve into the heart of these ancient structures with our optional exploration activities. After a day of awe-inspiring sights, indulge in a delectable lunch at the local restaurant before retiring to your accommodations for the night. The next stop, Luxor. An early start leads us to Cairo Airport for a flight to this mythical city, steeped in history and splendor. Prepare to be enchanted as we explore the magnificent Karnak Temple complex, a testament to the ancient craftsmanship and devotion. Then it's time to set sail on the legendary Nile, aboard a luxurious cruise ship. Indulge in scrumptious lunch as you glide along the river, soaking in the breathtaking scenery and vibrant culture. With comfortable accommodations and attentive service, your Nile cruise promises relaxation and adventure in equal measure. Wake up to breakfast with a view of the Nile before setting off on an expedition to the fabled Valley of the Kings, where the eternal resting place of the pharaohs awaits, beckoning you to explore its hallowed chambers and sacred tombs. Delve into the splendor of Queen Hatshepsut's temple and pay homage to the colossal Colossus of Memnon. As the sun sets, enjoy a leisurely dinner aboard the cruise, reflecting on the day's discoveries and anticipating the adventure that lie ahead. Our journey continues to the enticing city of Aswan, where history and beauty converge. Take in the engineering marvel of the High Dam and the majestic Temple of Philae. Devoted to the goddess of Isis and Hathor, delve deeper into the Nubian culture with this visit to the Nubian Museum and Village, immersing yourself into the rich tapestry of traditions and customs. After a day of exploration, indulge in a delicious dinner aboard the deluxe Nile cruise, surrounded by the serene beauty of the river. Our adventure nears its end with a thrilling day trip to Abu Simbel, some home of the awe-inspiring temples of Ramses II and Hathor. Wonder at these ancient marvels transported through the time and space to captivate modern-day explorers. Bid farewell to the Nile cruise as we return to Aswan, where a flight awaits to whisk us back to Cairo. Before we part ways, indulge in one final exploration to Cairo's treasures with a visit to the world-renowned Egyptian Museum. Reflect on the memories made as you savor a hot lunch at a local restaurant surrounded by the hustle and the bustle of the vibrant city. As the sun sets on our Egyptian adventure, rest assured that we've taken care of every detail, including currency conversion and transportation to the airport for your departure. Until we meet again on another Sankofa experience, Black safe travels, and may your adventures continue to inspire and enrich your spirit. Thank you for joining us on this unforgettable journey through the heart of Egypt. Until next time, happy travels, and may the world's wonders continue to beckon you forth. Yeah, a beautiful experience there in Egypt, right? This was our very first one I was telling you about with my dad. So we went, but we took about 40 people with us this week.
Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening. and welcome to Egypt. How are you doing? Good. First thing I want to do is to bring up the man, the founder, the visionary of Urban Intellectuals. Please put your hands together for Mr. Freddie Taylor.
I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you for y'all showing up, because we didn't know, right? Like, we met in January of earlier this year. I met with Brother Jay, and it was like, man, I really want to do this. I really want to do it. We've been talking about it for years, actually. And in January, we just said, you know what? We gonna do this thing, right? And then look at the turnout. I'm blown away. Changing the world one child at a time, one mind at a time. We'd love to start with yours. This is the latest way that we're doing that with our Black History Travel Experiences, the Urban Intellectual But this is just the beginning, right? This is the first trip of many. Hopefully you can come to us as we conquer the rest of the continent and see more and more of our history up close and personal. And just to think that all of this started from a deck of flashcards, right? How many of you have the flashcards? Anybody got them?
I just want to testify to the how great this brother's flashcards are. We do them with our sons every morning on the way into school. And for those of you who haven't had an opportunity to pick up the flashcards, you'll learn something every day.
I can play these videos forever. I love them. I'll tell you what, I love to reminisce and see it all the time. But this was that inaugural trip in 2022. That's Dad there on the left. He is 93 years young in this particular video image you seen there in the middle outside of the pyramids. We're getting ready. They're facing the restaurant. We're getting ready to go into the restaurant with the pyramids in the background. It's got a great setup. But you see, he's got a sweater on. Man, we're in Egypt, man. He say it wasn't quite warm enough for him. You see folks in shorts, man. He likes the heat, right? Hey, but if it worked, listen, I'm getting in the heat myself, so I appreciate it. But since then, we've taken on 8 African countries, 29 trips, 379 travelers, and counting on these life-changing Black History travel experiences. Hopefully, you will have an opportunity to do that and join us in that as well. That's my comments about the house rules. We're about to dive in a little bit deeper. But what does home mean to you, right? Is it where you are born or where you live, or is it something deeper? In the comments, let me get a little bit of an engagement there. What do you think home is to you? I know, like, I gave my opinion, right? I was born inside the shores of America, but I view myself as a cosmic being, really. So I'm interested in the whole solar system, to be honest with you, and I'm never going to contain myself to any type of geographical border. I'll say geopolitical borders, right? Because, you know, as the governments topple and fall and change and shift, I'm definitely not solely committed to this one place. So it's just something, I think it's a matter of ideology and like thought. But I know that my people are bigger than this country. So I don't want to commit my descendants to this country, right? I want to be a global citizen. I have a secondary passport, but I'm interested in a third. I'm interested in a fourth. Hey, with all these criminals running our government, I want to be protected, right? And like I'm like like Jay-Z say, right? I got 5 passports. I ain't never going to jail, right? There's some different conversations, but it's deeper. Home is where your heart is. I love that, and where you are accepted. The motherland, yeah, my early environment and current place, yeah, yeah. We definitely not giving it up. I know I brought that up because there's a deep connection. Oh, I love that. That is Africa, right? Home is where I feel very comfortable. That is Africa. Ghana gave me that on my first trip. Ah, Miss Jean, you must have seen the presentation. She's lining up my next one for me. I appreciate that, definitely. I have to leave for work. Is it too late to go to Senegal? All right, we are in that. Look like people are interested in Senegal. Ashley, can you grab Stacy's information as well? Make sure we send her that. But yeah, it's deeper than that, right? But let's talk a little bit about Ghana while I catch up in these comments because I want to have this home conversation, and it's a good one coming up. Welcome to the lively and hospitable nation of Ghana. As you disembark the Kotoka International Airport, your thrilling journey commences. Bid farewell to the hassle of arranging taxis or rental cars. Our team has organized a comfortable private shuttle to swiftly transport you to your hotel. Once you've settled into your cozy accommodations, take a moment to acquaint yourself with our amicable tour team. They'll walk you through the exciting itinerary ahead, ensuring you are fully prepared for the days ahead. With confirmed pickup times and a day schedule in hand, you will have the remainder of the afternoon to unwind and gear up for the adventures ahead. Tonight, dive into the vibrant colors of Ghana with a delightful dinner at a nearby eatery. Whether your palate prefers vegetarian, vegan, or savory delights, the menu caters to all tastes. It's the perfect chance to sample the culinary wonders that await you on this. Fortunately for you, there's no need to worry about converting your money. Our team will be on hand to assist you every step of the way, ensuring you have the local currency required for your adventures in Ghana. Our exploration truly commences as we delve into the historic thoroughfares of Ghana, Ghana's bustling capital. From the lively, brimming markets to the fresh produce and colorful textiles to the rhythmic beats of the authentic Ghanaian drumming lessons, every corner offers a glimpse into the rich fabric of Ghanaian culture. We'll pay homage to some of the iconic sites, such as Kwame Nkrumah's Memorial Museum, Black Star National Square, and the independence art symbol of Ghana's illustrious history and promising future. Along the way, we'll indulge in delectable dishes at local eateries, ensuring you're energized for the day's escapades. Our next destination is Kumasi, the esteemed heart of the Ashanti Kingdom. Hop aboard a swift domestic flight from Accra, leaving all the arrangements in our capable hands. Upon arrival, to be enveloped into an enduring tradition of the Ashanti people, embark on a journey to the traditional Ardara village for authentic kente weaving and stamping printing encounter, then venture to a nearby cocoa plant to unravel the mysteries behind Ghana's globally acclaimed cocoa beans. The day concludes with your very own Ashanti naming ceremony and experience to cherish forever. Connect with nature amidst the lush landscapes and the picturesque Avery Botanical Gardens, just as a short distance from Accra, amidst verdant foliage and vibrant blossoms. Take a moment to relax and relish in the Ghana's natural beauty. Journey to Cape Coast, where history reverberates through the stories and alleys. Trace the footsteps of the enslaved captives at the Slave River and the enslaved dungeons, bearing witness to Ghana's tumultuous past while honoring the resilience of its people. To rejuvenate amidst Ghana's natural splendor, embark on an exhilarating canopy walk at Cocoon National Park. Traverse narrow bridges, suspended high above the forest floor amidst the lush greenery. For those seeking tranquility, an outdoor lounge beckons. Return to Accra and indulge in some retail therapy at the bustling Makola Markets on Oxford Street. From vivid textiles to traditional handcrafts, there's a plethora of treasures awaiting discovery. If shopping isn't your forte, unwind at the hotel or delve into the city's vibrant nightlife and fashion scene. Before bidding adieu to this captivating land, venture into the Shy Hills resource reserves for one last adventure with Ghana's natural allure. Explore the rugged terrain, the diverse wildlife, soaking in the tranquility of its surroundings. As your odyssey draws to a close, savor the precious moments forged in Ghana, whether you're homeland bound or onto your next escapade. We eagerly anticipate welcoming you back on another Sankofa experience by urban intellectuals. Until we meet again, safe. Sound went out on me there. When is the next Ghana trip? We're going throughout the year. I'll give you the dates here in just a moment. Andrea, let me look at the itinerary, but the schedule, excuse me, travel calendar. But I got another video for you. Check out this young lady's experience there in Ghana.
In America, my name is Crystal Taylor, and I was born and raised in East St. Louis, Illinois, and currently live in the south suburbs of Chicago. But just now today, I have been given my Ghanaian name of Adwa Mansa. It's Adwa Mansa. Mansa. Adwa Mansa. Mansa. Adwa Mansa. Mansa. And today, when I saw what was going to happen on this trip, I knew that this would be the moment that would break me. Because I wanted to be here for so long. And at 46, I'm finally actualizing this dream. And I feel such a connection, such a warmth and welcome from our African family. And it means so much because in America, we've been taught that we're not liked here, we're not wanted here. But there's been nothing but love and excitement to see us. And today, to be given my name from the village chiefs, I can't explain how it feels. And I can't stop crying because it feels so good. Because I feel so loved here. It feels like home. And I'm just grateful. I'm really glad that I've had this experience. And I just couldn't ask for anything else.
Yeah, it's a powerful trip, right? A lot's going on inside of those experiences, right? That you have when you're there and you reconnect. That trip we had, that was her first time in Ghana. That's my wife, by the way. That was her first time there in Ghana. But right before that trip, we had just flown from Egypt. So she had that Egypt experience, first time there, then had the experience there in Ghana. And it's a lot. And it's it's crazy difference between Egypt and Ghana. Like that Northeast Africa and West Africa is it's like you on two different planets. In South Africa and all the places are like vastly different, but there is a stark contrast between Northeast Africa and West Africa, and it just hit differently, especially when you get to West Africa because you know our history. Now, if you're over east and you understand the history, like we're going to Ethiopia, we're going to these different places and Tanzania and all of that. There's a whole Eastern slave trade, right? An Arab slave trade that's 1,000 years older than the Western slave trade. We don't really talk about a lot, and Islam was wrapped up in that. We don't really talk about it, but mainly I think because we were swept up in the Western slave trade, right? But that doesn't mean that we're ignorant of what has been happening. And quite frankly, it's still happening, right? So I'm going to say this, and y'all can feel how you want to feel about it, but all y'all be running to Dubai, you don't understand the history and what that place, how it was built up and whose backs it's built upon. It's built upon yours, right? It looks beautiful and all of that stuff. And it's great. I'm in Dubai and all of that, right? It's just like going to Paris and London and all of these different places that literally built their wealth on your backs. But we have been misinformed or miseducated about the world and the history and what has transpired. I won't get too nasty with all of this, but it's just the truth, right? Like I like the truth, right? I think it sets you free. I saw someone say, what's the benefit of multiple passports? Man, they changing things. Let's just say, okay, it does allow ease of entry into other countries because now that I have a West African passport, My passport is from Sierra Leone, right? So I am a Sierra Leonean citizen as well. Um, but it allows me visa-free access to multiple West African countries. They have a union of West Africa, and I have a multitude of other, I think, believe it's 64 countries that we can get in without a visa. Like the American passport has 125 countries that you can get into without a visa. But when your country is saying, "Oh, you can't go to that country," you know how there's a ban on Cuba, which I just came back from Cuba last year, y'all, in August. They not banning it. They just made it a little bit more difficult to entry. But if I use my Sierra Leone passport, I can just fly straight in with no questions, without no visa. You can do different things like that. And then if you want to take part in the economy in said country, which I'm interested in personally, um, being a citizen affords benefits, right? Ghana just went through a phase where they blew through, I think, about 500 Americans. They gave citizenship to. I wish I would have been involved in that, because if you want to do business in Ghana, if you're not a citizen, there's a foreigner tax, right? So there's a benefit to that, right? Anyway, there's much, much more. But, and that, stick around to the end, because I want to talk about the economic changes in Africa and why I think reconnecting with the continent is even more important, especially with how crazy our president is acting right now. I think you got to start seeing yourself as a global citizen. We'll dive into that. Oh, I didn't share the screen. Bam, there we go. But America's Nightmares, this is your sign to return home. And this is the conversation that I really wanted to have. I wanted to get down a little bit deeper, but I wanted to share that stuff, right? I want to show you some of the reconnection. I want to show you some of the reasons on why we're going. I want you to see it through the eyes of some of the travelers. I want you to see some of the experiences that you have. I wanted you to understand that, no, it's not just jungles and animals in Africa, right? There's a lot on the continent, and it's a beautiful place. And no, they don't hate you. These are just propaganda told from people who benefit from you staying separated from the continent and the people in the diaspora. Um, but the historical impact, right? So when did you first realize how much black history has been erased, right? If you think about that, how did that impact you? I'd have been running long, so I don't want to like slow down for the comments, but like keep some of these thoughts in your mind. You can drop them down in the comments. I'll try to come in and talk about it a bit. Oh, I like what Melvin is saying here. I like to share a different perspective as it relates to slavery. Prisoners of war is what I see it as. No volunteer subservient, whereby we are strong armed and became captives of those that conquered them. Man, Melvin, how long you want to be here, brother? Because I absolutely love that. Uh, yeah, that's really like my narrative, right? Like, because we are prisoners of war. Most black folks ain't ready for that conversation. It's just a reality. You lost the war. This was literally what happened on the continent and around the world. You lost the war. They enslaved you. They brought you over here. They re-indoctrinated you. They used hundreds of years of educating your children to change your mentality and understanding that, so much so now you don't understand that we're still in the same damn fight that started 400 years ago, right? Nothing has changed with that. Only thing that has changed is now that we participate in it, right? And I made a post the other day. Oh, we are never going to get out of here. I made a post the other day that literally said, you don't see me getting involved in the movements and the think tanks and the conversations because most black people just want to preserve their space in white supremacy. They want to save their crumbs. Massa, our house is on fire. Massa, what's wrong, Massa? Is we sick? This is the mentality of most of us because we don't think we're even capable of controlling our own bodies, ourselves, our nations, and our communities, right? But this is a sickness that's been inflicted upon us through the re-education process of America. I often lecture on talking about really as anybody. If you go to war, you take over a place. The first thing you do is you seize the media outlets and the educational system. Why? Because one, I need you to get this propaganda inside of your heads. And then two, I need to re-educate the next generation. Because if I can just educate the warrior out of them, I ain't got to keep fighting you all the time, right? So this is what has happened not only to us here, but that's what also happened on the continent as well. And I think we don't really understand that. We think, oh, they weren't in chattel slavery like us. They had it better than us. They got conquered too. And they got their educational system taken over as well. And they got re-educated as well. This is why they know nothing. This is going to shock some of you. They know nothing about the slave trade. They know not all of them, right? Just like all of us don't know nothing about them, but they don't know what happened to us over here. It wasn't in the educational system. All they see is what's coming through the media, which is the hip hop music, the basketball stars, the entertainment, and the ignorance. That's what they see. And they can't understand why we are in the situation that we are. You got every opportunity. They're trying to get here so that they can get opportunities because they are so suppressed there by the European powers that's in control still of those countries, despite you see Black folks in charge, right? And then when you get a Black person that starts to talk, a Black or African person that starts to talk about the people and the resources and whatnot, they kill them. This is Patrice Lumumba. You think what's happening in the Congo just started? You think what's going on in the Congo just started happening because Apple needs the resources from the phone. No, they've been at this for a few hundred years in the Congo. And when he started alerting things to it, they killed him. And by they, I specifically mean the CIA. This ain't conspiracy because a lot of people, oh, here you go with that conspiracy theory. This is just history. The American government has admitted to assassinating Patrice Lumumba. They've admitted to taking his body and dissolving it in acid and saving his teeth and keeping them as gifts. This is like all on the record. This ain't even like crazy talk, right? But this is just reading and understanding and traveling and getting different perspectives. It's wild out here, man. But when you start to educate yourself, you can start to put the pieces together. But they have no idea about the American slave trade. They don't know about Jim Crow. They don't know about the water hoses. They don't know about the civil rights movement. They don't know about none of that. And as crazy as that sounds to you, what happened over there? What happened in Ghana in the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, 1900s? Shit, what happened in Ghana last week? In the age of information, we still don't know, right? So it's not hard to believe that they don't understand either. Folks been trying to survive. They've been busy, right? And I remember being with Mr. Morris, right, as one of our tour guides there in Ghana. And he was saying, he really broke this down to me. I didn't understand it either, right? Because I was like most people, like, what you mean you don't understand? And he said, man, they don't teach us that in the educational system. That ain't part of our curriculum. He said, I didn't get this information until I started hosting African Americans coming to Ghana to travel. And I started talking to them. And they started saying things that I've never heard before. So I had to start going to get the books and start to read and educate myself. And he said, when he found out, he was like, oh my God, this is insane. So what I think my point of bringing that up is the propaganda machine is real, but it's happening on both sides. Because we bought into it so thoroughly, it just feels natural to you. You just buy into the narratives that white supremacy or white education or white philosophy has drilled into you. All right, and I use the analogy of fish in water, right? Technically, a fish doesn't know it's in water. Why? Because it's always in the water. You don't realize that you're in a propagandized environment. Why? Because you're always in this environment. When you remove yourself from it and start to sit back and reflect and think and get around other individuals that have been able to decolonize their mind, you start to realize, oh man, they lying. And they're lying for their benefit. Okay. Yeah, reading is the key. Do you sell your products Africa? I'm assuming in Africa. It's something I'm working on because I'm realizing we could do African history flashcards because even the Africans don't know their African history. This is gonna go down a whole nother rabbit hole. But while we were in Sierra Leone getting our dual citizenship, people were like bringing up the flashcards, so they started looking at them, and they were like, "Man, I'm Mende, right? So we're the Mende people. That's how I got my dual citizenship, right? We traced our ancestry, and Sierra Leone is one of the few governments in Africa that allows DNA evidence to get to as a right to citizenship. Um, so we were in the Mende village and talking to some of the people, and they were like, "Man, a lot of the Mende people don't know Mende history." They were like, "You should do a line of Mende flashcards and help us educate our community." Like it's just the wildest thing ever to be in a place, in the village, in the environment, in the country that's dominated by these people, and to hear them say they don't know their own history. And like as I was like that was like settling in on me. But that's us. That's us in America. We don't even know our own history. And as sad as I was for them there, or us there, that's how I feel about us here in America. It's something, man. This like what is going on is something. All right, we off, man. I'm diving in. I'm just gonna go, right? I gotta bring this up because I was watching the dad video that I shared, and it just took me down memory lane, right? So I made this post on Facebook. I be telling people, I be messing around. I be like more stiff in other places. You really want to like see me cook? Come follow me on Facebook, right? Like I don't know why I'm just unfiltered over there, but I am, right? Um, but I posted this earlier today. This is literally today, right before this, because I was watching Dad's video. And this is from the dungeons there in one of the, I think it's Cape Coast, Dad was talking about. And my caption says, "My ancestors endured this. I would never disrespect them. I will never honor a culture that did this to them. Never. And if you do, I will always be obtuse to you. Hashtag never forget." Context: this is the bathroom in the dungeons of Africa. This is the latrine that ran through the dungeons, right? It's not a bathroom. They was just doing their business there because they was there up to 3 months in this place packed with hundreds of people. So you can imagine, though, it's not like they were coming in and sanitizing it every day. How do you sleep in this? Ain't no seats, ain't no beds, ain't no nothing. I go on to say, and we insist to stay on some clown shit, and we got work to do and a hell of an obligation to live up to. Like these experiences changes you. That's what I was trying to get at. And you go in the comments, I got even more forthright, right? But these experiences, they literally change. You cannot walk out of them dungeons and be the same person. And I go into, because people tell me, okay, here it goes. How do you know your ancestors are from that specific dungeon? Y'all be doing the most, right? I've heard people tell me stuff like this. Like you don't understand the ignorance that you get when you come back from the continent, right? So I'm gonna keep this a little bit more sanitized. You clown. There were over 30 dungeons up and down the west coast of Africa. And at this point, I've been in far too many. And I literally have been in the one in Sierra Leone that my great, 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 great grandmother was abducted from. I'll slap the shit out of you. You need to get away from me before I go to jail and you don't function the same. Wait, we are a damaged people. For somebody to go and start learning about their history and their culture and reconnecting with their vibe, and you got negative stuff to say, I just will never in my life understand these people. But what I want you to get from this is don't try to correct them. Just get away from them people. You're not about to change them. It's the same thing with that Trump mentality. This make America great again. You're not about to convince none of these people. I love black folks. I love y'all to death. But you be trying to give facts and figures to people who none of this matters. They call facts, they call research fake news because it doesn't align with their ideology. We're wasting precious time and energy on them when we need to be dealing with the people that are ready, willing, and able so we can work together and solve our own problems. That's all I really want us to get from any of the conversations that I have is it's going to come down to us. Ain't nobody coming to save us. Ain't nobody ever given us any help. You'll see Dr. Clark here behind me. I love one of his lectures. You have no friends. If you're looking for a friend, you better look in the mirror. I've been in the mirror and I've been traveling. We got friends. They look like us though. They don't look like nobody else. So that's why we are adamant about trying to reconnect us as a people. This is a global African diaspora. Freddie, we ain't all from the same tribe. We not a monolith. I hear all of these ignorant statements. We not a monolith, Freddie. We not a monolith. Yeah, we're not a monolith, but we monolithically getting our ass kicked all over the world. If you can't unify around that, I don't know what to say to you. You probably on the outside, and I'm not going to keep talking to you. I'm not going to try to keep convincing you because I know there are millions of us that get it. And all we got to do is start working together. I'm ignorant enough to believe in the intelligence and the ability of Black and African people. And if somebody doesn't believe, they got to get away from me. I ain't trying to debate it. I am not trying to convince nobody. I ain't arguing. I ain't using no energy for that. I'm just looking to be the magnet of people that get it and start to bring us together so we can start to work together to solve our own issues. I'm clear. Ain't nobody about to do this for us. I'm clear on it. I could be wrong. I hope I am. I hope there are allies out there. I'm not shunning no help from nobody. No, Freddie, the Chinese are in China. Man, they building them roads, but they doing. Why the hell you ain't over there? Do you know the African American community is rich? We are rich. We got so much wealth, so much intelligence, so much ingenuity, so much gumption, so much gall, so much backbone. Why ain't we over there? Why are you crying about the Chinese over there that's actually building infrastructure that is going to change Africa? I want to fast forward. I mean, man, all right, I'm going through this presentation. I want to fast forward though, because I want to tell you about the future. And this is why I'm really excited about Africa. This is why we really have these conversations. This is why I really love to take people, because I ain't just talking about your experience. I ain't just talking about escaping America. I'm talking about what's happening in the next 30, 50, 100 years, not only on the continent, but in the world. And if you don't get comfortable with the continent, your children won't be. If you don't get comfortable with the continent and the people in the African diaspora, your grandchildren won't. And if you don't get comfortable with the continent and the people in the African diaspora, they gonna be left behind because of what is happening inside the borders of Africa. And nobody's talking about it because they don't want you to know, because they don't want you involved, because they want to continue to exploit the continent themselves and make money on your back. So when people come up and start to tell you different things, we were in Ghana just in November. I was in Ghana just in November, and the brother that was leading the tour on Slave River, which is an amazing experience, by the way, he said, Freddie, you know why they getting rid of the history and like what has happened? And I'm like, I got my opinion. What do you think? He said, because if you understand the history, you start to ask different questions and you start to notice what is happening. And if you start to get interested in the history, you start to get interested in the people. You get interested in the people, meaning the Africans, you start to reconnect. You start to reconnect, you're going to start to get interested in the resources and what they pulling out the ground. See, this the game. The gig ain't just Oh, we don't like those black folks, those Africans, they terrible people. They raping the land for the resources. They have raped the land for the people, the human capital. But the stuff they pulling out of that ground, the entire world's economy runs on. That's what's happening. So if I misdirect you about the history, I disconnect you from the people, you don't get interested in what they're pulling out of the ground. That's just the facts. We got enough money, talent, resources, and ingenuity to be doing what China is doing over there. But we're not interested. We going to Dubai. We interested in getting some red bottoms. We buying Birkin bags or whatever the hell that is. I don't even know what that is. I don't even care. Like our priorities are misplaced. But then when somebody say Africa, you say, oh man, the Chinese over there. The Chinese ain't the only ones over there. The Lebanese are over there. The Iranians are over there. The Russians are over there. The Europeans are over there. The Indians, the Pakistani, everybody is over there but us. And we just sitting here crying and complaining. I need to reconnect you because our future depends on it. Let me speed this up. I keep saying that, right? I'm like a pastor at the church, right? Go play the song one more time. All right, I'm fast forwarding. All right, amen, right? I'm fast forwarding, right? All right, what's happening now? Listen, I kind of talked about it. Black history is being erased. Y'all know what it is. Systemic issues in America. Y'all know what it is, right? Dismantling education. We talk about the loss of structured learning, widening of the inequality gap, decline in innovation. We could go on and on ad nauseum, right? This is important though. The police immunity piece, right? So all of this is stuff that Trump is doing, right? By the way, this is what's happening. This is just what's happening. But this police immunity piece is really, really disturbing, right? But the legal protection shielding officers from lawsuits unless misconduct is proven beyond doubt. Now, y'all know you can't prove misconduct with damn video on and watching them. So now that they done passed this, Trump done did this, basically he done just gave them a license to kill, right? They already had a license to kill, as if you needed a stronger license. This is what is happening. This is dangerous for us. And I'm not scary. I ain't that type of person, but I don't want to be in front of the police anyway. Before this, I damn sure don't want to be in front of them. We talking about freedom papers and all of this, stop and search and stop and frisk to the nth degree because you look like you an immigrant. Like what? Okay, I'm gonna keep going because I want to get to the crux of the real conversation. DEI removal, we kind of talked about that. Somebody messaged me something that threw me off a little bit. I mean, we could go through all of this deserves long-winded conversation, right? So y'all think y'all are with me on that. What's the response, right? We must look beyond our borders. This is the conversation that I wanted to have. Do you got your freedom papers? Remember all that? We started the conversation with that good stuff, right? Personal identification, proof of status, signatures, seals. I'll share the video so that we can go back to all of that, right? We'll make sure that we email that out. Ashley, could you make a note to make sure that we include that email or that video? But why Africa, right? Why Africa, right? If you read that, that's cool. But in short, it's cracking, right? And again, I don't want to play respectability politics. I don't listen. I got a master's degree too, right? I be educated. Oh, Freddie, he drops his hanging part. It's like, what? He don't use commas correctly. Listen, I don't give a damn about none of that. We need to communicate how we understand, right? It's cracking. Why Africa? It's cracking. That is the technical term, is cracking, right? Right? All right. I tried to interject a little levity there, but it's undergoing significant transformations marked by rapid economic growth, industrialization, and political shifts. Man, it is cracking for real over there. Okay, robust economy, things are growing. The crux of the matter here is that youth demographic. The average age on the continent of Africa is 19 years old, 19.7 years, okay? There's almost 1 billion people on the continent with the average age of 19, okay? Y'all hear that? We got that. The continent is industrializing. This is, to me, the most important part. It's industrializing. What does that mean, right? Industrializing means they're building the roads. The railroads are starting to happen. They're connecting the countries, right? They're bringing together the machinery to take the natural resources and using the machines to turn them into things, blah, blah, blah. The industrialization of Africa is sending it through the Industrial Revolution, which you'll remember from America made them an absolute world power. The Industrial Revolution in America involved 35 million people going from poverty to the middle class, and it made them a world power, right? The estimates in Africa is over the next 30 years, 350 to 550 million people are going from poverty into the middle class. Now it's a bigger landmass, it's larger than America and all of those things. But we talking about 10 to 20 times bigger is happening in a place that has the majority of the world's natural resources. What do y'all think is happening? If 35 million people going from poverty into the middle class can make America a world power, what do you think is about to happen? Why do you think everybody is still interested in Africa? It's the jewel, it's always been the jewel of the world. We've just been convinced to stay within this boundary, and you just worry about this here. Let us handle that over those wicked people. Somebody's driving a wedge, and the opportunities that we're ignoring are for your grandchildren. They're going to have to be citizens of this world. And Lord forbid they start to speak the languages. Lord forbid they go on the trip with you and they get comfortable now. The AI revolution is happening. The world is changing rapidly. We cannot afford to just stay here in these boundaries. I really wanted to speak to this because I feel like this is the most important thing. This is why I have a hella interest in getting additional citizenship. This is why I have a hella interest of staying on the continent for an extended period of time. My goal is to be there this year at least 4 to 6 weeks continuously. And I want to pop around and start to meet more and more people. But there's just an asinine amount of opportunity that's happening. And if you see what's going on in like Burkina Faso and Mali, Niger, are you seeing the Sahel region rising? They're throwing off their colonial ties. They are naturalizing the resources. They're making their own gold. They're starting to produce their own cars. Like it is literally happening right in front of us. They kick France out, right? Follow what's happening in Burkina Faso, brother Abraham Traoré. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso's president. Man, this brother ain't playing no games. And they trying to kill him. This is what they always do. You start fighting for your people, they try to kill you, right? And that's just the American thing. If you really want to dive deep into like how they do it, one of the ex-CIA agents dropped the game plan in a book called The Confessions of an Economic Hitman. There's 2 volumes of it, and it's bananas to read, right? Because he tell you they come in with that money. First, they come in with the IMF, right? Come in with them loans. They get you hooked on the loans and the money, and they really pretty much got you. But if you reject the loans, they bring in the jackals, right? He calls them the jackals. The jackals, that's the hitman. Those are the people that killed Patrice Lumumba, right? Probably the same people that killed all of the African leaders, right? It's just the same game they play. They got like a playbook, right? Loans, you reject it. A coup happens in your country. Somehow it just happens in your country. Right? And then we buy stuff like, oh, there's always been tribal warfare against one another. So you just gonna act like there's no outside influence, right? And like all of this is coming at a time where Trump is like just acting wild. Look, y'all, I'm so far off of my presentation. I got so much more I should be trying to show y'all. But this is really, to me, the most important conversation. The nightmare in America is creating an opportunity for us. One, here in America, we better start getting our shit together and start, one, taking care of your household as far as your finances, your protection, your food, escape routes and plans. I don't know what these people are capable of. I do know that this ideology being in the White House has emboldened them at a level we ain't seen in a while, right? I'll put it that way. And then secondly, it's time to start exploring opportunities outside of the country. I'm not saying let's move to Africa. I know that's impossible for a lot of people, but I think you have to start thinking about opening the door, about reconnection, about building that bridge. Maybe not for you, but maybe for your children. Somebody's got to kick down the door. There's so much ignorance in our families. When we started going to Africa for the first time, people were like, why would you even want to go there? What? I got family members who are world travelers that have never been to Africa. I got family members that have been to Egypt, but they don't call that Africa, right? Like, oh no, I've been to Egypt. Like, what the hell you mean you ain't never been to Africa, right? Like, it is bananas what is the thought processes that are in our minds. And I shouldn't even be upset with them because I know it's propaganda. They're fish in the water. And they're just spitting out whatever, the propaganda machines say to say. Africa's, man, you going where? You going to Senegal? You know how dangerous it is in Senegal? I'm like, bro, I'm in America. I used to live in Texas. I remember being in the stores and little old white ladies walking around with pistols on their hip. You go to a bar, people got guns in the bar. In the South, right? Man, listen, we got to wake the hell up, right? But I still feel like this nightmare that America's going through, Trump is sending people through the ringer, right? Not just black folks. Like, he messing with everybody. Everybody is on their heels, except Jasmine Crockett. Boy, she linked in. That's a bad sister, boy. But and besides her, right, even the Congress is on their heels, right? Texas racism hit differently, right? And everybody walking around with a gun. So the COO of Urban Intellectuals lives in Canada right now, right? I met dude traveling the world, right? And he said, man, I would never, ever live in America. And I was like, never? He's like, no way, that's crazy. And I said, why? He said, why I want to be in a place where everybody got guns? And I was like, this is a couple of years ago. And I was like, damn. And it just really didn't dawn on me that there were places in the world where everybody didn't have guns. Right? I didn't even think about that being a thing. And you know how Americans are, you gotta protect yourself against the state. Man, if the military come in here, your little pistol ain't talking about nothing, right? You gotta protect yourself against the government tyranny. And they ain't nobody even gonna show up. They're just gonna drive a little drone over your house and drop a bomb. Like, them guns ain't protecting you for nothing. All it's doing is making all of the rest of us in danger. You don't know how to shoot. You've been drinking. Y'all are on all type of prescription drugs. Like, you high as hell and you just got a weapon, right? So ever since he said that, that's been chirping in the back of my mind because I don't got to be here, right? So it's like, well, why am I here? I never really thought about that. I never heard nobody even say that to me. But as soon as he said it, I was like, oh, it probably would be a lot better to be in a place where everybody ain't got no guns, right? But Africa's so dangerous, so they say. I'm gonna try to get back on. I don't even know if I want. I don't even know, man. Y'all, I'm so far off. But I like to just try to hit you with the truth, right? As I see it. And a lot of you know that I just listened to the ancestors, right? They told me to take the left turn. I went on the left turn, and hopefully y'all got some goodness out of it. But I do want to bring up this. I got a video real quick from my brother Jay Cameron. Y'all might know him, but Jay is our travel partner that really makes these trips to Africa happen, right? His organization is the Boots on the Ground, so we have a joint partnership. But he got a really good discussion about his time in Africa. Let me play that and try to get back on pace. Enslavement, let's say. Um, then what happened? Then you went where? And like how many? Where have you been? What have you done since then? How about that?
I had to, with the awakening that happened in Ghana, I knew I needed to explore more of the continent. So next stop was Tanzania, and just as a symbol of conquering just all of the negativity and ignorance and all of that I've been internally battling, I said I need to climb to the top of the tallest mountain in Africa, which is Mount Kilimanjaro. Now, mind you, I've never climbed any mountain before. I didn't have any formal training or anything like that, but I knew symbolically that's something that I needed to do. So I did that in 2019. And I also decided that I was going to start bringing people to see for themselves. So I never intended on creating a travel business from that trip. I just intended to go and see for myself. But I know how many other people like me are so misinformed. And I said, well, if I'm not bridging this gap of poor information, then I'm now a co-conspirator to it. So that's when we kicked off our first travel experience in November of 2019. And that year we took 35 people back. And I watched them have similar encounters. And everybody, things are so subjective, so everybody's experience is very different or can be very different. The pandemic happened, so that slowed things down in 2020. I decided to come back in 2021 and invite people to join when many people were still staying at home. I said, no, for those who are ready to go outside, we're going to create these experiences. And so we took that year, we took roughly 75 people back to Ghana that year. And then 2022 came around and numbers continued to increase, more and more people. Some people traveled with us 2 and 3 times in a given year, but it was never about the trip. It was always about the experience, Freddie. It was always about the experience. And anyone could feel that there was love that went into these experiences. It just wasn't, okay, we're going to take you over here and hope you have a good time. It was like, no, we're going to take you over there and make sure you have a good time. We're going to do our best to make sure you have a good time. And then that's when you and I connected in 2022 and with the whole Sankofa experiences. And then obviously all of the people, the 300 people that have traveled with us since then. So within 2 years, people have tapped into this, and it's all came from that one trip to Ghana. Been to 25 different African countries and seen the world. Been to from Kemet, many of us know Egypt, to South Africa, to Morocco, to Senegal, to Kenya, Tanzania, Seychelles. I mean, I could go on and on. Been down to South America to tap into that part of the African diaspora because that connection was so important. Been to Central America. Been to parts of Europe and, just learning and became a sponge. All from 2018. That trip to Ghana kicked it all off. 48 countries now.
Wow. Yeah, I call the brother Mr. Africa, but he's turning into Mr. World, right? I love it. This is amazing, brother. Y'all, show the brother some love down in the comments for this particular story. But it gets better because he's really pouring into us about his experiences. But I kind of want to tap a little bit into what are some of now that you've traveled to Africa, not only continent, the diaspora in general, and are starting to reconnect with us as a people. We're always talking about, let's not argue over the boat stop where your ancestors came, right? We have so much more in common than we do in differences. Like traveling that, what are some of the misconceptions that we have, particularly Africans in America, that have the we got that media machine that's feeding us these negative narratives about who we are in the African diaspora. What do you think some of those common misconceptions are?
A big misconception is that those Africans don't like you and they're not going to accept you and they don't want you. So what I discovered is that there are different kinds of people who come from Africa. You have continental Africans and then you have Americanized Africans. And so these are not Africans born in America Africans. These are oftentimes Africans, and I say that loosely just to kind of put it, just to say from the continent, who are actually they come to the United States from a different country in Africa. So there are differences. So the continental Africans that I experienced were very warm and loving and kind and had none of the stuff that they don't like you over there and they're going to send you back and all of that. I didn't have that encounter. Now, what I think a lot of people are familiar with, or the narrative, is that when you'll have some people, and I notice I said some who come from the continent and they become Americanized because they've been told the narrative about many Black Americans. And so what they'll say is, okay, you all have all these opportunities and you all are lazy and you all are not taking advantage of everything. And so we're going to come over here and, take advantage of the opportunities that you are letting go. Well, you will encounter some people like that, but then they also find out that many of us who are African born in America do not fit that narrative. So we've been fed a narrative about them, they've been fed a narrative about us, and then this conflict comes until both sides have been educated. So what I serve as, when many Africans who have come to America and weren't born here, when they encounter me, I shatter all of that stuff about being a lazy Black American. I mean, we, of course, in our community, we have some people like that. Y'all know we all got some folks like that in all communities. I see them on the continent. I see a lot of similarities. How about that? I see more similarities than I do differences. But this is the thing. Once we become educated about each other and understand the contextual story between colonization and European slavery, and we understand that whole deal, those walls begin to come down. And so that's what I've seen in my experience. Again, I have not had the negative encounters on the continent. And it's just been a wonderful experience wherever I've been. It's like they've been so excited to see, oh, wow, I see you all on TV, but now you're actually coming to be here with us. And it's like, wow, we're so glad to be here and we love being with you. And that's something that colonization and imperialism, really can't impact when you actually are there among the people and showing respect to their culture.
Good brother Jay is always super powerful to hear. I love to engage. I love to include him in our conversations because I know he's gonna come with some good stuff and always be insightful. But Africa's a big place, man, but it's a beautiful place and it's a beautiful opportunity for us. Again, I think in the wake of y'all president and the things that he's doing, I think it's something to consider, not necessarily moving, right? I want to make sure I had that conversation before we get out of here. I promise we are almost at the end. Believe it or not, I'm actually closer to my presentation than I thought. I thought I was like way, way off, but I'm almost at the end here. But I'll just leave the questions, what do you think holds many of us traveling to Africa, right? It's just that disconnection and that propaganda piece that is super real. Right, I love these questions. Here I come with that. This is Senegal. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in traveling to Africa, where might you be interested in going specifically? I'll let this little quick video play. I think this one is short. Located in West Africa, Senegal is often thought of as Africa's cultural hub. It's a mecca of rich traditions, historical landmarks, and memorable landscapes. Home to 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites and 6 national parks, Senegal is brimming with a one-of-a-kind experience. The Gambia is the smallest country on mainland Africa, surrounded by Senegal to the northeast and the south. When you venture into the west of the Gambia borders, you will find some of the most stunning and serene beaches Africa has to offer. Let Sankofa Experiences by Urban Intellectuals introduce you to the countries of Senegal and the Gambia, known collectively as Senegambia. The region is famous for its delicious cuisine, pristine beaches, and most of all, its welcoming locals, giving Senegambia the name the Smiling Coast. There's so much to do here, from visiting Kunta Kinte's island to walking the full-grown lions. Senegal and the Gambia are full of adventures. Experience it all with Sankofa Experiences by Urban Intellectuals. Hey, y'all, we actually walk with the lions, by the way. If I had time, I'll pull up my video. Y'all will see me walking with the lions. I looked comfortable. I wasn't. But it was a good experience. But why Africa? We talked about the connection and the healing, identity, stepping into the continent, shifts your perspective. I love all of that. I'm going fast, y'all. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get through this without ranting at y'all. I see Ghana, Nigeria, Egypt, Ethiopia are your top choices. Terry want to go everywhere. All right. No worries. Be walking with the. I wouldn't be walking with the lions. Yeah, it was an interesting experience. I got the video, so I can say I did it right. What would it mean for your family to see Africa with their own eyes instead of through the media? I'm telling you, it's like a eye-opening experience. You don't have to move. That's what I did want to make sure. You don't have to move. You don't have to invest. This is about exploring and reconnecting and really nothing else. Travel can be transformative, but like I said, it's going to transform what you are experiencing, not only with yourself, but with your family, because the questions that they have, that they ask, is really, really different once you come back, right? Because a lot of them didn't have any interest. Now came back with the pictures and the video and dad there. So now, my family has come around, right? So friends and family are the same way. How would you make sure that the next generation knows their history and their roots? But remember, I was talking also about the opportunity that is coming, right? I think the economic insight and the global economy is here, man. And it's like it's not we cannot continue to just focus on this country for a lot of reasons, right? Geopolitical in that, but also the rest of the world is catching up. And you can get there while it's still affordable, right? Like it's kind of crazy when you go over there and you eat and you go out and you have things and you're like, what? I spent like $10 today. Like it's kind of crazy how that works. But experience in Africa and the diaspora. They saw the question in the comments. What is the investment for one of these trips, right? My daughters and I went to Egypt with Anthony Browder last year. Had to be a phenomenal trip. Brother Browder has been putting in work in these African diaspora streets. So I love to hear that, Laverne. But it's just $199 to lock in your spot. That is how we roll here. There's a full trip amount is payable via no fee payment plan. So there's no early payment fee. There's no fee for riding it out until you get to the trip. But the trips range from $4,600 to about $5,700 depending on the room type, the destination, and the time of year. I think that's really important to say as well. We're going to Ghana for New Year's this year. And the pricing is a little bit different. New Year's on the continent, I hear, is what's up. I've never been there for New Year's, so I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, so that's the price range. Again, it just depends on where you are. If you're ready to check it out, make sure you go to the calendar link. You can check all of our dates. We have some 2026 trips up and available. So if you're interested in that, you can definitely check that out. But the link that Ashley dropped will take you directly to our calendar. And let me show you the calendar. How do I do that? Can I do that? Show you the calendar here. Yeah, got that. So this is this year, 2025. So we're going to all of these places. South Africa in the top of the month. And then this is the Ethiopia trip. I'll actually be on this trip. So any of these trips you're interested in, you can click book now. It'll show you more detail, including the itinerary of the different places. But Morocco later next month, Senegal and the Gambia in May. Someone was asking about that. June is Tanzania and Zanzibar on the same trip. August, Ghana, Brazil for the first time in September. I'll be on that trip as well. Nigeria, I'll be on this one, and Ivory Coast in September leading into October. There's an October Ethiopia. Got to go to Egypt. November, South Africa, and then Ghana in November, and Ghana for New Year's in this particular trip. So that's where we're going in 2025. If you're interested in 2026, these are our locations here. So again, Ghana, Egypt, South Africa, Ghana, Egypt, Ghana. Okay, so those are we'll slide in a couple of the others. We're just working out the dates for like our Ethiopia and stuff like that. So we just don't have those dates finalized just yet. Yeah, so again, if you're interested, make sure that you click the link. You can collect it there. Or if you have any questions, you can always email us at support@urbanintellectuals.com. That's support@urbanintellectuals.com. I can stick around for some questions. If you have anything specific, you can drop it in the comments. or you can raise your Zoom hand. I can call you up. But while we're waiting to see if anybody has any of those questions, these are some of the frequently asked questions, right? Are the trips child friendly? Yes, I think in the videos you saw children there. Are there children discounts? Yeah, discounts on children's ages 5 to 11 up to 40%. Trips adult friendly. Yes, I think you've seen all the age ranges of the adults there. Dad was on the trip at 93 with us. So he's been the most eldest traveler thus far. There are a lot of physical movement. There is some physical movement involved, right? We have to walk around these locations, and you have to, see if you want to see everything. Dad didn't participate in everything, right? Particularly, we walked up as close as he wanted to the pyramids, but he definitely didn't go inside, right? If you go to Egypt, going inside the pyramids is some physical activity involved in that, right? It's some tight spaces. You have to be hunched over while you're walking through these chutes. I definitely came out of there super sweaty, but what an experience to go inside. There's a bit of walking through the dungeons. It's hot. Mostly in Africa, people are like, what's the temperature like? Well, it's either hot or it's going to be hot, right? But at night, sometimes it cools off, right? I know Egypt gets particularly cool during, when were we there? I think that was like February. Say physical movement, down payment plans. Yes. So we offer those. Is international airfare included? It is not. We'll make recommendations on where to fly into, definitely the city. And then we try to arrive between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. Sometimes you might have to arrive at like 2 or 4 or whatever. But we try to give you enough time to get in so that you can relax, the rest of the day, kind of shake off that jet lag and all that good stuff. What languages do they speak? Generally English, right? Tourism is a heavy, I would say all of your guides are going to speak English, right? Everybody's going to speak English. And most of the people are going to speak English as well. What you find around the continent is many of them speak multiple languages. And again, tourism is really important to their economy. So they pick up the language, right? That's only us here that think everybody needs to speak your language, right? But you'll often meet people who speak 6, 8, 10 languages, right? And some of them are their cultural dialects, but they communicate, right? So your guide will always be on your side if you're negotiating or bartering. You have any questions, you don't understand, you feeling rushed or anything, you can just grab one of the guides that's working with us, and they'll step in and either negotiate with or for you, or tell you, hey, get away from this person. They're not treating you fairly, right? So that's always great. Do we pair guests? Not yet. We don't, but you are able to, if you're interested in signing up, you're able to put in your $199 and secure a single occupancy. And then you can add a second roommate later, right? If you talk to a friend or a family member that decides that they want to go. But even if you can't, like to our solo travelers, we have so many people that have traveled solo by themselves. I end up meeting some wonderful people and friends as you go. It's just a unique bonding experience. So don't let friends and family that let you down stop you from having this experience. Can non-American citizens join the trip? Absolutely. We have people join us from all over the globe. How much money will you need on a trip? I think we got to bump this up, $300 to $500. Y'all like to shop. When we put this together, I don't think I really realized that y'all like to shop. You're going to need more money than that. You can use like your charge cards. Oh, I recommend leave your debit card at home, or don't be using it when you're out swiping and any of that, right? Because you know how hard it is to get your debit money back, right? If you got a credit card and you refute the payment, I mean, they'll just close that out immediately, right? So we advise that people bring their charge card, and you can't use your charge card everywhere, right? So when we're out in the local markets, you're not to use your charge card. But we'll have all of this conversation for you while you're on the trip and while we're leading up to the trip. So you'll have cultural trainings and conversations. Yeah, darling, at least $1,000. Especially if you're a shopper, you gonna need some cash. Like, cause man, y'all be shopping. And listen, when I say y'all, I'm really talking about me. Cause boy, listen, I get over there and lose my mind, boy. I'm telling you, it's just something, man. And I love African attire. So like I gotta get my garb up, I got, Brother Freddie really prefers a t-shirt unless I got me an African print joint, boy. Then you will see me show out. I enjoyed that stuff, and apparently I love African art. We went into Egypt. I lost my mind. I got wall pieces, like I love them to this day. But I'm like, boy, I was in there telling them folks, man, listen, you don't really need to shop, but then I'm the one out there walking with tubes of artwork, and it's a mess. But it's just so fun. And man, I mean, hey, you gotta spend your money on something, right? You can't take it with you. If you don't spend it all, you're gonna leave it to them youngsters and they gonna blow it anyway. So nah, let me stop. Travel insurance is not automatically included, but we recommend that you get cancel anytime travel insurance as soon as you book with medical. I always like to throw in the medical stuff as well. You never know. Hopefully you'll never need it. But it is a non-refundable trip. So just like you have car insurance, you want to make sure that you protect this as well. Because when you book, we lock down spaces with our vendors and they don't really care, right? They like, that person ain't come, pay me my money. It doesn't matter. So as long as you get your cancel anytime travel insurance, again, with medical, because you might have good medical health care here, it's likely, I would probably say 98, 99% says that it's not going to cover you in a foreign country. So you want to make sure that you're covered, right? With a good amount. Yeah, you just wanted, because stuff happens, right? We had somebody break their ankle on a trip, right? Just was walking down the stairs and like slipped and I don't know, he broke his ankle. But he had cancer, he had medical insurance. They took good care of him at the hospital, got him right. He tried to continue the trip because he didn't want to let his family down. His family was with him. But they went home. And then he came back on another trip because they had cancel anytime travel insurance with medical. So that was really, really, really great. That's the good story, right? Can I add somebody to my room later? I mentioned that. Yes, you can. Can I purchase an excursion? All of the excursions are now included. We got to update this. Which airline should I use? It depends, right? Everything always depends. If you got points, I would say use them, right? I fly Delta a lot while we're going. That's who I'm going to fly into Ethiopia, but they have travel partners, right? So we might end up on Ethiopia Air or whatever the case may be. Air Canada flies a lot over there. You'll end up flying out of probably Dulles or New York. I know Atlanta has international flight, but a lot of times, no matter where you're at in the country, you'll end up in either Washington, D.C. or in New York, and then you'll fly from there. Okay. Depends on the destination, which trip, but we'll have that all clearly identified. But when you sign up, we'll still have cultural trainings, is what we call them. San Francisco. Yeah, San Francisco, Stacy, you'll probably end up flying from over to the East Coast and then flying into Africa. I don't think I've seen anyone that have flown out the back way. Don't hold me to that. That might even be your preference. I don't know, but typically people end up in either DC or New York and flying out of there. Trying to land, I said 8 to 4. So try to land between 12 and 4. 8 to 4, yeah. If you're a little bit earlier, a little bit later, we're going to pick you up, right? It doesn't really matter. You will share your itinerary with us ahead of time. So we'll pick you up from the airport and we'll take you to the airport when it's time to fly out. Vaccinations is possible. It just depends on where you're flying. The COVID-19 vaccinations, I haven't seen any mandatory things in that in the last couple of years. That doesn't mean they won't bring it back. Yellow fever is mandatory in Ghana, Nigeria, and Tanzania. The rest don't require yellow fever. And then the rest of the stuff is advisory, right? So like if you're in West Africa, they're going to say, you need to get these malaria pills, you need to get this, tetanus shots and all of that. But I would say check with your doctor, regardless of what it is, check with your doctor. Don't listen to Freddie, check with your doctor just to make sure. But yeah, and in a lot of the places you don't need anything. Like South Africa, you don't need anything. Egypt, you don't need anything. Senegal, you don't need anything. So that's always good. Can I drink the water? I'm just going to give you a blanket. No, right? Don't drink the water unless we tell you to drink the water. I just typically go with no, and I don't use the ice. right? But if we're at the hotel, generally their water is filtered so you can drink it, but we would let you know. But bottled water will be all around, right? When we're out, it's going to be bottled water. When you're at the restaurants, you're generally going to see bottled water and all of that. Okay, I think I got through it all. All right, got a question down here. Do you know if any are live vaccine you would need to consult your doctor? Oh, okay. Any are live vaccines? I had a kidney. Oh yeah, no, Stacy. Yeah, you definitely want to consult your doctor. If the only vaccine that's required is yellow fever, right? That's the only one that I've seen like a mandate, and that's again Ghana, Nigeria, and Tanzania, Zanzibar trip. The rest don't have the yellow fever requirement. Um, but yeah, definitely check with your doctor. Now, you can get a medical exemption, right? Um, my father, when we went to Ghana that in 2017 that I showed you, he got a medical exemption because he was 87. And his doctor said, I think the vaccine could possibly have more harm than good, being that he was an elder. So he just got a little note, little doctor's note, and then everything was fine. I would imagine that it would be something like that with you, depending, or your doctor might say, no, it's fine. Or you just want to go to a different place, right? Where you don't even have the yellow fever concern. I know somebody who has an autoimmune disease that wanted to go and was super concerned about, the vaccination. And then, it just kind of turned out that the recommendation was, hey, don't go there, right? Go somewhere else. Because, yellow fever, what I understand about yellow fever, you don't want it. I know we be talking about them vaccines and we don't really want them vaccines. They say you really don't want yellow fever, right? So I'll just say that. I took the yellow fever vaccination back in 2017. It lasts 10 years, but they're talking about just a one and done situation. So hopefully I'll never have to renew that again. Um, yeah, I probably wouldn't take it anyway. I don't know, but don't listen to me. Listen to your doctor, right? Y'all heard that. That's all that's recorded. I said, talk to your doctor, right? If you move to Ghana, will your USA insurance cover you, or do you need to purchase Ghanaian health insurance? My assumption is you would have to have Ghanaian health insurance. I don't think that they have like a joint relationship like that, right? Y'all know these insurance companies ain't trying to pay for nothing when you here in your home state, right? So that's why I'm like 98% sure they not gonna cover nothing. Yeah, I would definitely get the local health insurance, and it's gonna be way cheaper, right? Like, hey, they just juicing you. Like, the more you travel, the more you realize they juicing us here like crazy, you know. I've been talking to people about retirement lately. I want to say I've been thinking about retirement. I ain't retired, but um I've been thinking about it. And it's like I know I'm not gonna be in this country when I'm done working, right? I don't think I'm gonna be in this country. We're gonna see if I make it out of my 40s in this country, right? Like I am interested in leaving and I live a different life, right? Like I literally work on the internet. I'm in my house right now, right? Like and I don't know, every day is on the internet, right? I communicate with my team. We're a virtual organization. We're not in the office with one another. So, like, I can literally be anywhere in the world. I might be sleep deprived, but I have that option, right? And like, so every day it just kind of wanes on me like, why am I paying these American prices? This is kind of like insane. So, we'll see. Like I said, I know I ain't gonna make it out my 50s. Are you hiring? We do hire from time to time, and we hire from our community. So when we do hire, you'll see the email first, right? So we reach out to our community because I want people that are like-minded, right? I ain't trying to convince nobody that we're doing important work. If you buy it, you want to work with us and you emanate that, then like let's go get it. Sister Ashley got young kids. She here on a Saturday hanging out with us, right? I've been on for 2 hours and 24 minutes, but she was at the desk 2 hours before we start, probably longer than that, helping getting things set up. So I always appreciate her and I try to make sure that I shout her out. But when y'all send the email, it's generally Sister Ashley that you are engaging with. Or if you send it to our customer support, they end up forwarding it to her, and that's usually who you talk to. I do the curriculum and training and have good tech skills. I love it, Stacy. All right, well, let's stay in touch. Stay in touch. You know, hey, things open, right? We all when we're looking for people, we're looking for people now. So I hope to be looking for people again soon. That means we're doing something right. We're serving our community in a positive way, and there's a need for additional time and talent in the company. So I'm not opposed to that at all, at all. Okay, y'all got any other questions for me? I think I'm near. Yep, I got through all my slides. So the ancestors, I'm about 30 minutes long on where I want it to be, but I blame that on Brother Michael. Get me all fired up in the beginning. Okay, all right. Any additional questions for me, Sister Ashley? Did I cover everything? Is there anything else that I need to mention? I do have the training up. Okay, I'm taking her silence as I nailed it. Boom, I nailed it. Hopefully, did y'all enjoy today? Did I go too far off the reservation? I know y'all know I'll be getting out there sometimes. Are you planning on offering trips to Kenya anytime soon? I have to look at we are rejiggling 2026. Who's that? Arlene, yeah. Darling, we're rejiggling 2026. It's possible. Like our Kenya trips is like, I don't feel like the super interest is there, even though it's an amazing city. I'm interested in going to visit. I probably will be there later this year. I mentioned I'm looking to spend about 4 to 6 weeks there on the continent, but I want to travel around. And I've been hearing a lot of great things about Kenya. I need to get there. Jarvis, I need to find another fine job. All right, all right. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Ashley says, I'm good, very informative. Thank you, you and the team. Thank you, Gwendolyn. Thank you, man. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I definitely appreciate y'all. Oh, Karen, I appreciate that. I'm glad y'all appreciate the time and work and energy that we put into this. I'm gonna go lay down for a while. I'm gonna go eat. Believe it or not, I missed lunch. And then I'm running my mouth. I'm over here hungry. So hopefully Fat Freddy don't show up and eat too much. I am on a breadless diet right now. I love bread. I have an unhealthy relationship with bread, y'all. So y'all pray for me. I'm 15. This is day 15. No bread now. No bread. So I'm doing good. I've been eating we eat pizza Fridays every Friday, and I've been eating chickpea pizza. And it is good. I got to say, if I didn't tell you it was chickpea bread, you wouldn't, or chickpea base, you wouldn't even know. And I am a pizza connoisseur, people. Like, let me tell you. I had the chickpea pizza, then the other one I had was cauliflower. Yeah, I don't know. The cauliflower is kind of weird to me, Stacy. I don't know. I like the it was like the consistency. The consistency is better with chickpea. What brand you use though? Maybe I just had a bad brand. I'm interested in diving deep in it. I'm sorry, this turned into a pizza discussion, but this is health, right? Self-care first. Yeah, yeah, all of that too. Thanks for the presentation. Please let us know about the information, real estate investments and trust. Oh, yes. Miss Me, yeah, if you you should be in our legacy builder program, right? I mentioned it, but I didn't dive into the conversation. But take a look at that. Hey, everybody that's hanging around, make sure, Sister Ashley, last thing, can you drop Sunday dinner? We're gonna be on tomorrow, Sunday dinner. Make sure you show up for our discussion. It's just Zoom, same kind of conversation, but same platform, different conversation. But we do Sunday dinner every Sunday. So I want to make sure that y'all join us for that. Always an engaging conversation, always really informative. And the things that I kind of I bring a lot of new information to us. I got something for us tomorrow as well. That's my cliffhanger as well. So make sure you come up, just like we are talking about the Freedom Papers, all of that stuff came out of a conversation with Sunday dinner. And I got something else that I'm gonna introduce a Sunday dinner that we need to be aware of as well. So that's my cliffhanger for y'all. I'll try that. It's a store brand. Okay. I'll look for it though. I'm about to run to the store and grab me another one. I ate it all up yesterday. So good thing about Pizza Friday is pizza all weekend. So I'm gonna have to go get me some more cauliflower so I don't eat the bread-based pizza that's down in here. But yeah, just all right. I'm glad y'all are enjoying enjoyed the discussion. But yeah, make sure if you're interested in coming on these trips, connect with us. Support at sankofaexperiences.com. Support at sankofaexperiences.com, and then sankofaexperiences.com if you're ready to go ahead and book. That'd be great. You let us know. Perhaps I can follow up via email. Who did I see that? Yes, Miss May. Just shoot an email to support at sankofaexperiences.com, or if Urban Intellectuals is easier for you, support at urbanintellectuals.com, and just let them know you're trying to get a message to Freddie. They do protect me, so they probably going to ask you, what is this about, right? What do you want to talk to him for? So keep that in mind. They not being rude. They just trying to protect my time because they know I get to run in my mouth. So relax. The town hall is tonight. Yeah, yeah. Right. Yes, Karen. It's Karen. Yeah, yeah. You know, it's a busy organization. There's a lot going on. So, all right. But the links are in the comments. Hopefully, y'all click them and join us for Sunday dinner tomorrow. I'll be there. I lead Sunday dinner. Hopefully, the team won't be on. So it'll just be me. So get ready. Buckle up. I want to buy a home in Ghana. But I need the right connect. Yeah, Darlene, I understand that. It's the, you got to watch yourself. You got to do your due diligence. I probably can connect you with some people, or at least to start a conversation. I ain't bought a home, so I don't know, right? But yeah, I know some folks, right? I know some good conversation for you to have. Oh, there you go. Look, Sister Leslie got a home there, right? I love that. So nothing like that. Leslie, come on to Sunday dinner tomorrow. Let's talk about that too. I think that'll be great. But yeah, man, I always hate leaving y'all. I definitely appreciate y'all being here with me today. Hopefully, again, you enjoyed the conversation. You got something from it. We're inspired. Hopefully, you decide to come to the continent with us. America's Nightmare marks an opportunity for us. So let's continue to arouse the curiosity and growth in our families, right? In ourselves, and use these as teachable moments. Let's protect ourselves, right? The freedom paper conversation. Let's make sure that you're getting your real ID, you got your passports, got your copies and all of that good stuff together. And let's consider the motherland. I'm trying to tell y'all, this is where the future lies. It's always been the jewel of the world. And it's nothing that's changing about that anytime soon, at least in the next 50 to 75 years. But if we want our children and grandchildren and great grands to have the life that we desire for them, we're going to have to start using our life and the rest of the runway that we have, paving the way for them. I just think that this is a really great way to do that, to reconnect with the continent. So again, hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you for being here, Sister Ashley. Thank you for your time as well. Get some rest, sister, and unplug from the chat, because I might jump in there and start a bunch of conversations as well. But thank you, everybody, for being here. I definitely enjoyed it all. Y'all know what it is. Until next time, love, peace, and power to the people. Good night, or good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Look, I thought it was like super late. But thank you for being here. We appreciate y'all.